Welcome to the July 4th episode of the Bench Boys podcast. On the final episode of the season, Jared and Tyler are joined by our special guest Brent to discuss the NHL free agent frenzy. First up, the Leafs were active on the trade front trying to bolster their decor while shedding some contracts. Zaitsev and Brown headed to Ottawa for Cody Ceci while Kadri is on the move to Colorado for Tyson Barrie. Mitch Marner is still unsigned, and even after all these moves, there still might not be enough money left over to get him under contract for next season. Monday actually produced the first offer sheet of the summer that has basically been talked about since Christmas. While it was nice to have the drama, many feel that Montreal blew it with their offer to Sebastian Aho of the Hurricanes. Carolina reported they were in the process of matching the contract to keep Aho as a Hurricane, which is pretty much a no-brainer. Free agent frenzy produced over 90 contracts on July 1st this year. The New York Rangers won the Panarin sweepstakes, Florida landed Bobrovsky, and Nashville signed Matt Duchene. We discussed these signings and many of the others to close out the episode. We thank everyone for joining us throughout our first season as the Bench Boys, and we hope to see you all next year. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoy this episode.
We're the Bench Boys, we're the Bench Boys, coming to you live. We're the Bench Boys, we're the Bench Boys, coming to you live. So why not plug in and listen to us, rant about our favorite teams. We could sit and talk all day, but we got bills to pay. So for now, we're the Bench Boys, we're the Bench Boys, coming to you live. We're the Bench Boys, we're the Bench Boys, coming to you live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Free Agent Frenzy episode of the Bench Boys podcast. The last episode of the season for us before summertime.
Woot woot. Yes.
Today, Jared and I are joined by our special guest Brent, who is making an appearance for the first time in
It's been too long.
6 weeks.
Probably longer than that.
Does
But yeah, thanks for having me back. It's been
big
a while.
big news, but before we get to that, I'd like everybody to know that after all of the craziness that happened in the last 5 days, the Ottawa Senators are still $640,000 short of the cap floor.
They got time.
Classic.
They got time, sorta. Like they're just gonna beat it. Like they have two guys to sign, I think.
They can easily just pay one guy.
Yeah.
A
Oh
lot.
yeah. They
I
have
would
a
love to be that
roster.
guy.
They have a roster of 20 people, and they're still somehow short,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
even after trading for $6 million of Leafs players.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's fun.
shall we just jump into that one?
Head
The-
first, buddy.
Gamer.
Connor Brown, Nikita Zaitsev, Michael Carcone.
Zaitsev was. It's almost like they needed him for the cap.
Yeah,
But he's like not worth it. Not even close.
I don't. Yeah, like the problem I have with this trade. So like, if you look at cap friendly, it looks pretty sweet because you're like, okay, Connor Brown, 2.1 million. Zaitsev 4.5 million. Carcone 0 because he was an AHL player.
Mhm.
For Ben Harper with $725,000 salary cap hit.
Well, it's the Ceci. Like
But Ceci
Ceci's
wasn't
why they did
signed.
that trade.
Well, yeah, for sure. But it's like, it looks like from here they saved themselves almost $6 million in cap. But they traded a $4.5 million player for a $4.5 million player.
Yeah.
They saved themselves like
Who would you rather have though?
$1.5 million. Well, I don't know. See, as a Leafs fan, I think Ceci. But if you look at anything Ottawa fans have said over the last week a week.
They're happy about it.
They hate Ceci.
But he, like, when Carlson was on that team, weren't they the one too?
It was Carlson and Ceci, and it was also Phaneuf and Ceci.
Yeah, but Phaneuf doesn't count.
Yeah, but the Phaneuf Ceci pair was actually good.
Yeah, because he's a righty. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a righty. So that's a big deal.
It is a big deal. I'm happy because I remember playing the Senators when they had Carlson or Phaneuf there.
Well, now think of the 1-2-1-2. Then it actually is left, right, left, right.
It's
a big deal.
That's true.
hopefully,
Mhm.
right?
No, Muzzin's going to be left.
But the thing is like you look at the you look at the pairing projections right now, people have Ceci playing on the third pair. So it's
like Dermott's gonna outrank
yeah,
him.
but the thing is, Dermott's not going to play the first month, bro.
Yeah, that's the other
Oh,
thing
yeah.
too. Like he's not as
You're probably right. Like to
Yeah.
start the season for sure, it's going to be 1-2, 1-2. I hope Ceci plays fourth, like second right D all year. That'd be awesome. Because
if he
let's
if they
not
find a
forget,
spot like
Dermott's a lefty too, right? Like Dermott's playing on his wrong side.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like back to the trade. On paper, it looks like they shed a bunch of cap, which over the long term they shed a shit ton because they shed 4.5 by 3 more years with Zaitsev, I think.
Yeah, like
Right, because he like obviously 2019, 2020 now. Zaitsev and Ceci will be making the same amount of money, and then 2020, 2021 to 2024. That's 4 years of Zaitsev they shed for nothing.
I actually haven't
Isn't
seen
bad.
CC's contract. I know they were.
They signed him this morning at 4.5 for a year.
So it's literally
Exactly the same.
it's just they dumped like just over $1 million.
They dumped just over him. Well, yeah, like 1.5 ish.
Yeah, but they got a third round out of it. So,
But they also gave up Carconi, which he's actually probably going to be an NHL.
I don't know him. So
I'm not gonna lie. The only reason I know him is because he's a Leaf prospect. Was a Leafs prospect, but at the same time, the Leafs got him in a trade, just a swap of prospects, right? But at the same time, like he's a small forward, talented, very skilled. Was really good with the Marlies. We'll see if he does anything in the NHL. He'll probably
See if
play
it
for.
translates.
well, sorry, what was the term on CC's? Like how many years?
Ceci's just won.
So that's huge. That's a big deal for them.
It is, except for have you looked at the Toronto Maple Leafs fucking cap issues?
It's going to be a nightmare.
No.
Plus next year.
You think it's a nightmare now?
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like in like even 2 years, it's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, you know why it's gonna be brutal?
the same reason.
The Leafs
everybody
have
else is.
one NHL defenseman on contract for
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah, Barry's going to walk.
It's gonna be rough.
Well, he's
'Kay.
not going to walk. They just can't afford him.
You know what I saw? The ludicrous, like just the insanity on Twitter.
What?
Cody Ceci and Tyson Barrie aren't going to want that big of raises next year. What?
Barry's going to make
Definitely
bank.
Barry will.
You think Jake Gardner left Toronto because he needed a raise? Tyson Barrie is going to be demanding Trouba
So
money.
this is.
especially if he has another good season.
I think this is a good fantasy take for next year. I think Morgan Riley might not be even on the top power play. Because
He's going to start the year there.
he had such a great year, not
He-
taken away from that. But Tyson Barrie was a force.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
going to start the year. Babcock is going to
Oh, he's gonna.
stick
He
with
loves
Riley
his guys
to
right?
start.
Yeah,
But you're not wrong. Like, does he finish first?
right. And I don't think
Yeah,
Toronto's
they
doing
start-
the 1-2 like other teams. so-
Yeah,
The Leafs rarely do two defensemen, right?
yeah,
Yeah, Riley
Nobody
starts
does
to struggle
two
and-
defensemen except for like San Jose.
Yeah. Because they have 5 forwards on the ice.
because why?
What 3 defensemen, like 25 million, whatever
Yeah.
it is.
You might as well play him.
yeah.
But, like, it's absolutely insane. The Leafs have Morgan Riley on contract for next year on D.
yeah,
Yeah.
You think their defense is bad? Like last year.
that's a
such
hell
a
of a contract
struggle.
though.
I
5.
feel
Oh,
like-
it's amazing.
Yeah.
But unless you sign Tyson Barrie to, like
It's not happening.
$6 million for
Well,
8 years.
What was his contract before they like absorbed the salary? 6.5, right?
Tyson Barrie?
I don't think
Yeah.
it was
5.
that much.
It was
yeah.
like 5.5.
Oh, really?
Because I got 50.
Oh, he had a good contract too.
Colorado retained 50.
But he's getting paid by Toronto 2.5.
2.75.
He's getting at least a $4 to $5 million pay raise on top of that.
Oh yeah,
Like, at least.
dude, he's going $8 million easy.
Yeah, it's D are so hard to find, and he's gonna walk and make lots of money.
Like,
But I
Okay.
think this is a good gamble on their young guys,
100%.
right?
Like,
They have to be so creative for the next like 3 years.
well, yeah. So like, I mean, like, I'm not super freaking out because like, oh man, they're gonna have no defense next year. But like, the cap is tight right now. The cap is tight next year too because Travis Dermott's not going to be $863,000. Whoever the hell you decide to bring back, because this is the thing. You say Ceci's going to leave. You say, well, you
I
say
don't know about CC.
you say Tyson Barrie's going to leave.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one. You think Jake Muzzin's not going to leave?
That's a tough one because they paid a premium to get him,
Yeah,
right? So I don't know
But that's what
if
I'm
he'll
saying,
get
like,
paid as much.
he's making
He'd be-
$4 million this year.
Is he actually?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good then. Never mind.
Okay, so this is how
He's
it
getting a
is.
raise.
Cody Ceci is the highest paid, other than Morgan Riley,
Yeah.
but the highest paid unrestricted free agent the Leafs got on defense. Cody Ceci, Jake Muzzin's at $4 million. Tyson Barrie is at 2.75, really 5.5.
Yeah.
But still, on the Leafs cap right now, where they're probably not even, there's probably not even enough money for Marner right now.
Yeah.
As is.
Probably not.
Unless the cap goes up $10 million next year,
Well,
what the hell?
The
Yeah.
only
is gonna
thing,
happen?
like Toronto, they at least have chips to play. So like Kapanen and Johansson, like they can.
Johansson?
Oh, whatever.
Easy there.
Yeah,
Cherry.
they can flip those guys for prospects
Yeah.
if it becomes that big of a crunch.
Which it's going to, 100%. That's
So-
those
or even-
contracts are
Unfortunate.
super movable.
even like Kerfoot, like I don't really see him staying.
At the deal that he just signed, I do.
I don't think he's that good. I didn't think he was a second line center on Colorado.
He's
And
not
that was
supposed to
not-
be. He's not
I
even.
know.
But he's not paid as a second line center.
But,
He's
like,
paid as a third line center.
You want a third line center that has potential to do something.
They
at
just
that
traded that
age.
away.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, Kadri, you kind of know what he is.
Kadri is a second line center on just about every team in this league.
Yeah, I guess.
15
Depending on the
100%, he's a second line center on 15 teams. in
And
this
like
league.
Yeah.
honestly, Toronto can play Nylander center, right? So
Maybe.
he's done it before. So they have
Ish.
options to like
Yeah,
be creative and
but like 3.5 for Kerfoot, that's a third line center. That's
But that's what I'm saying. They can flip those,
Yeah, for
middle,
sure, if they
middle of
have
the range
to,
guys that are like within their prime years or close to the end.
yeah. If they have to, you're
Yeah.
right. You're not out to lunch or anything. But like,
We could give them Stone. I would love that.
yeah. You know,
It's only
honestly,
3.5.
honestly, before the last, so okay, I guess we kind of touched on it. The Leafs also traded for Tyson Barrie,
Yeah.
arguably the biggest splash on the trade front of the league.
Trade-wise, yeah.
And PK Subban's a big one.
That's just. Yeah.
But it's only PK Subban, right? Nazem Kadri for Tyson Barrie. That's big on both sides,
yeah, that was a salary.
right?
thing
But it's
more than
but
anything.
it's not really a
it's-
salary thing because
It's a
No,
one shot year thing.
yeah, but it's not a salary thing because like you weren't trading, they didn't gain any salary in that trade.
No, but they got a defenseman that they could
Yeah,
afford, right?
but it's not a salary thing. That's I have this, I have extra of this, I need
Yeah,
that.
but it was
so
like
it's
if you do Kadri for Barry straight up, they couldn't afford it because it's another $1 million. So they had to work some stuff in there, right?
what are you what?
Yeah, Toronto Avs trade. What we're talking about?
If they traded just Kadri for just Barrie,
Without the salary, fandangling that they did, they'd be gaining $1 million in salary. Like negative.
they just gained 3.5.
Yeah, but that's
Today,
that's
they
what I'm
just gained
saying,
another
like,
3.5 on that
That's
trade.
why I don't
It's the
think
same
he's
as the
staying
Ceci trade.
next year.
It's the same as the CC trade. The trade looks like, the Leafs just saved some money. The moment the signings happen, you're like, oh shit.
And
they
that's
just
why I
added to their
don't think
cap
he's
again.
staying. I don't think he's good enough for 3 and a bit. And I don't.
Dude, I don't know. You have
I think
4
they can
points
get
last
something
year.
for him.
I don't know. He's had 2 good seasons.
Yeah, I think. Well, he hasn't gotten over 20 goals, has he?
He had 19 his first
He's
year,
had
I
really
think, or
good
something.
assist seasons.
Yeah,
I
that's
know
almost $7 million worth.
Okay.
Kevin Hayes, ladies and gentlemen.
I was actually
I
just
thought you were
gonna say
tired
that.
of talking about him.
Yeah, I was, but I told you it was coming up.
It's
'cause
nice for reference. So.
It's good for reference
I don't know why they did that.
because they're high and
'Cause
they're
they're-
Philadelphia.
They just really wanted to spend a lot of money right away.
Between him and JVR, that's gonna be a really good third line.
Yeah, like,
That's like Calgary. That's like my nightmare. Is we sign someone like that and they play with James Neal on the third line.
Okay, so firstly, did you see Pierre LeBrun's tweet? I believe it was Pierre LeBrun. He tweeted
No.
something like talking to an NHL GM about like free agency and stuff. He's like, today is all about making trades to free up to trade away bad contracts so I can sign some more tomorrow. This is on the eve of
Did he
free
actually
agency.
say that?
Yeah, apparently some GM said that.
He was
to him.
probably joking.
That's amazing.
But still, that's
I-
awful.
It's funny. I laughed really hard.
Yeah.
And then today, I don't know if anybody follows Down Goes Brown on Twitter. He's an athletic writer.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like Dustin Brown, but no.
He's an athletic writer, and he released an article today that was the 20 steps of your team signing a bad free agent contract.
oh god,
Holy shit! What an
It's
article!
probably gold.
What an article that is. If you
I still
don't
gotta
have,
sign up for that.
if you
I
don't
gotta
have
do
an
that.
athletic membership,
Yeah,
that article is for sure worth reading.
yeah, I gotta
sign up
subscribe
and
this year.
if you go on Cap Friendly, there's a 60% off code for the Athletic. FYI.
Really? I actually
I'm
didn't even
unaffiliated
notice
to the
that.
Athletic. If they want to sponsor us, that would be swell.
I mean, just
Yeah, over the top, you see where the bench boys and stuff, just Athletic. Bang.
There we go.
yeah, we can make that work.
But yeah, anyway, that was a really funny article, which is definitely one of those. I'm really happy the Leafs haven't had this issue since.
It's a good problem to have. Let's get real.
Yeah, it's a good problem.
Oh
to
no,
not
we have
avoid.
too many good players that we pay a lot of money.
For sure, and it's a very good problem to avoid. The
Yeah.
signing a freaking brutal contract.
Yeah.
Well, that's like.
But Kevin Hayes is brutal. There's some other bad ones though, like bad ones.
I think like I read this article. It was like right after the first day, so on July 3rd or 2nd. And it was like winners and losers, right? And almost everyone said the winner was Dallas, and the loser was Winnipeg. And I disagree with the Winnipeg one. I agree with the Dallas one. They did a lot, but Winnipeg they didn't have a choice, right?
They didn't have a choice
Because they lost two of their top four basically.
Yeah. Okay. So this is crazy to think to say that, right? We're saying that Winnipeg didn't have a choice because they don't have the money, right? That's we're in agreement there.
Pretty much, yeah.
They didn't
you-
make any moves.
If you go on to Cap Friendly, Winnipeg is second lowest in league spending right now.
well, they got two guys
At the
that's going to
moment.
eat up half.
yeah,
of
I
it.
know.
It's like
but that's the thing. You're like,
Liney's
holy
gonna be
shit.
at least 10.
It's like false.
but the
hope.
thing, this is
Who knows
this
what
is the
Connor's
scary
gonna
part,
make.
right? We were making fun of Ottawa. They're at $640,000 below the cap floor
Yeah.
at 20 roster slots. The Jets are $1.5 million under with 15.
I was gonna say
roster
like what,
spots.
13?
That's 7 guys you got to fit in like
Yeah.
20.
That's a lot of tryout contracts.
23 million.
Yeah. PTOs.
Hey,
are
like,
I could go to
being-
Winnipeg.
23 million seems like a lot of money until you think about Line
Dude.
and Connor. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
I-
it's gonna fall.
I would rather give Connor the term and Line the gap.
yeah, we've said
Yeah.
that to you.
But like, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You think they're both getting term?
I don't think either of them are getting term.
Oh,
I think it would be a
100%
mistake.
Connor is going to get something.
They're gonna want to, but like, just look at the trend in the NHL. These 3-4 year gaps, like, they're great for I think almost both, but more the player. Because in 3 years they're gonna get like a $2 million raise.
No, see, the
Just
player
based on
the
how it's been
player-
playing out.
loves the 5-year term.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like 3 to 5, right in between there.
Not see, 3's not that good. 3 is fine.
Well, 3 you're walking them to free agency a bit, right?
No,
So-
5 you are.
I feel
Is
like
that right?
Yeah,
three's
That-
sketch kind of probably for a player too, right?
3's a bit
Not enough
sketch for a
security.
player.
Well, it's money too, right?
Yeah.
So the bridge makes sense for a player in my opinion, but the thing is, like, the 5-year term is legit for a player,
Yeah.
right? Like, look what Aho just did,
Yeah, I was gonna.
and obviously Aho was an offer sheet, but
Didn't make sense.
Montreal's retarded. Like, okay,
They did Carolina a favor.
And they kind of handcuffed themselves
See,
for a bit too. so-
I don't know if they did Carolina a favor.
I think Aho could have got more.
That I think, like, for an offer sheet too, especially.
Big time.
I'm really surprised. He must have just saw the dollars in the bonus structure and been like,
If Montreal did $1 million more, maybe $1.5 million more, that would have made it a little bit harder.
if they would have
It
gone to
would've-
10, which is what you're saying, if
Yeah.
they would have gone to 10,
They still would have.
you think you don't get value out of that?
I think Aho's a franchise player. He's awesome.
He's a centerman.
much.
Yeah.
He's a centerman.
and a winger. He does everything.
Mitch Marner wants over 10.
He'll probably get it.
And you think that you couldn't go... They
especially like if you're serious about it.
Montreal, who has art apparently, as many of the insiders have pointed out, that Montreal has one of the best prospect cupboards in the league right now. They figured either the $1.5 million was too much, or the first round pick was too
or
much.
yeah, they didn't want to give up.
Are
a
you
pick.
shitting me? 1 first round pick and a $1.5 million raise.
I don't-
And you didn't go there.
This is why I don't get angry when Calgary, like every now and then when Calgary Flames make a really bad trade. Like I didn't think Kamenick was a good trade
Yeah.
just because they gave up so much, like 3 picks, 2 and 1 and 2. But like you're guaranteed a good player.
Yeah.
First round, you're not guaranteed a good player.
2 first round picks,
Yeah.
a second and a third.
Look at Edmonton.
Yeah, and those are like
you're not guaranteed. You
Yeah.
could have the
these
first
aren't-
overall.
These aren't top 10 picks. These are probably bottom 10.
It's
Yeah,
Toronto,
exactly.
right? Or not? Sorry, Montreal. So
Like I would assume
they'll
if
be
you
in the
put-
middle at least.
If you put Aho on that team with Carey Price, they are a playoff team.
And
All
Domi.
day.
well, even Druin, because Druin's not really a center.
No, he's not. at
So
all.
that's the one thing I've always had a tough time is why Montreal went for him to be a center when he's not. He's a setup guy that runs the power play on the wing.
So I mean, like we're not. This isn't hot take heaven right now.
Hot takes.
And for anyone who probably is watching us right now, probably watched July 1st coverage, whether it was Sportsnet or TSN.
Yeah.
The moment that offer sheet happened, it was like, holy shit, it's
think-
happening.
Well, we were
Yeah.
texting, and I
And
was
then-
like, if it's anything even remotely close to 8 or 7, they're idiots.
Yeah.
And then
So-
it came out at whatever it was. But
So, like-
it's not even close to what you can get.
It's. I think that's what he would have got from Carolina. I agree. I think he's worth more.
Yeah, like if you're gonna offer sheet, you got to you're paying more.
Right?
That's
Like
the whole idea is to make the other team not want to do it.
Yeah.
if
Plus being okay with spending that.
if you compare him to Matthews, this is my thought. Aho's a center. Matthews is a center.
You're just,
They're
okay. I'll let
they're
you
not the
finish.
same player at all.
Oh.
Matthews is better.
I think he's
No
better.
question.
Better at offense.
Is he $3 million better?
No.
No.
Not even close.
$1.5 million maybe? Maybe.
The reason I like Aho, he's got better hands and he can run.
Well,
the power play.
so let's put it.
That's
well,
the only reason I
don't
like
know.
him
Matthews
a
has
bit
pretty
more.
sick hands too.
He does, but he doesn't have I wouldn't say he doesn't have the passing that Aho does, but it's like
I
it's
just
close.
want to put this out there. Matthews at 11.6, Aho at 10.
I'd be 100% okay at 10 for
That-
Aho.
Yeah,
Would you?
that's
Who would
reasonable.
you take?
Ooh, Matthews. You can't pass up Matthews.
I don't know.
Man, as a Leafs fan right now, today, that 10 looks mighty tasty.
I don't know. I'm
I'm
happy
not-
with either.
Like, I'm
but-
not
That's a tough
saying.
call.
I'm not saying that I would trade them straight up or anything like that.
Oh, there's no way. That
And
would
like
ever happen.
obviously, to Carolina, Aho is more of
it's
well,
their guy.
he's their only big center, right? Toronto has two. That's why partly I'm like, man, I would
You
take
don't-
the
you don't
cheaper
like
guy
Jordan
over.
Staal?
You have Tavares and then Aho opposed to Tavares and Matthews.
Yeah.
You're just about as good.
Oh yeah.
That $1.5 million is huge right now.
Yeah.
Huge. That's a big chunk of money,
Plus yeah.
right? Like, it's just to me, it's crazy that he's $3 million less.
He's gonna in 5 years.
Like right
That's
now,
gonna be
I
a
don't.
They're
contract.
the same age, aren't they?
Yeah,
Maybe
I
Aho's
think
a
it was the
year
same
younger.
draft.
Yeah, same
I can't
draft.
remember,
Yeah,
Same
Yeah,
draft.
'cause they're
But
both-
they're both stars. They're both they're
Yeah.
top line on their team.
Yeah.
That's what you're paying nowadays.
Right?
Unless
So
you're
it's-
Calgary.
Unless it's not a heavy, heavily, I don't know, skilled top line.
Yeah, it's
If you got a,
I don't know.
averaged out
If I
top
was
three line kinda
Carolina,
team.
I'd be like, great. You just saved me a whole summer of work.
That's exactly what Don Waddell said.
I know, but
That is exactly what he said.
He's like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, so like
Day one, it's over.
the thing is
No
like,
arbitration, no
I
nothing.
think the reason Aho signed it, there was rumors out there that Carolina offered him 6,
Which is ridiculous.
which is absolutely bonkers.
Mind you, if I was a GM and you know me, I would totally do that. I'd be like 5.
Take it or leave
What
it.
do you think?
Be like,
Right?
no.
So that's the thing is,
You don't want him to say
Was-
yes right away.
was Aho in the room when that was offered and they sold him on it and they put that in his head that he was worth 6?
The other thing he could have done
Which was insane.
is his
Insanity.
agent
No
could
way.
have probably talked to Carolina and said, "Are you going to match this?" And before he accepted the offer, right?
I
Is
doubt
it's-
there would be any
there's a
dialogue
whole-
between.
I don't think that's
Carolina.
illegal.
No,
'Cause
no,
it's still their
It's
team.
not. It's not.
So they could have worked this out like, hey, let's just get this over with. $2 million difference. Sign the deal.
I just don't see why they would go through all
Big-
that if they
yeah.
had that in line.
Who knows, right? There's probably lots of conversations.
I just
that-
Fun with
I
Montreal.
I 100% am on the side of Montreal fucked it so hard because right the other option or I think Pierre LeBrun brought it up or something. Do you honestly think you could get Sebastian Aho from Carolina for 2 firsts, second, and third?
Well, the only
Yeah,
thing, and
that's
I was
crazy.
like half paying attention, and I was like, oh, the Marlowe thing. It popped into my head. I was like, they ate a lot of cap there. Does that affect it? And I looked at it, I was like, oh, no, they're fine.
Yeah, no.
Like, Justin Williams might retire. They're fine.
It's just
There's
like
$4.5 million or whatever it was.
I get it that putting $21 million in 12 months on Carolina's plate.
That's the toughest part about it. But still, they
but
can make it
you,
work.
as Montreal, you cannot think that is the issue.
No.
That could be like the teetering point where they're like, oh man, this is $10 million plus. We have to spend $25 million in the next 12 months. Okay, maybe.
Be creative with
like,
one of your other contracts and do the opposite.
$8.5 million.
I'm sure it didn't take too much thought on their part.
Well, yeah, right. I don't.
They're like, this guy's awesome.
No.
I don't. As far as I know, it's not officially matched yet. I'm
He
pretty
has
sure.
a week, so that's
Yeah, so they have 7 days. So they have
2
until
more
Monday.
days. Yeah,
They have
Or just 3.
till Monday.
Yeah.
Right. So like, as they said, why give them their money back?
Honestly, like, yeah,
Why? Why give them the money back to do it to somebody else? And as a Leafs fan, with Mitch Marner dangling in the breeze where the Leafs don't
to
really
be
have
honest
the cap.
though, like, I like that this happened
I
because
do
we've
too.
been talking off sheets ever since
Yeah.
Ryan O'Reilly.
But if
And
this
it's
is
just-
the only offer sheet,
No, but like,
if this is the only offer sheet, this is such garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, beggars can't be choosers. Yes, like at least we got one. At least we got one.
yeah,
But are you fucking shitting me,
I was
Montreal?
really-
Like you blew it.
I was really expecting one of those like middle guys to go for like, well, if you what is it?
Well, if the Leafs didn't,
just over threes.
if the Leafs did, if the
second
Leafs,
and a third round pick
3.4
or something like that.
Yeah.
if the Leafs didn't get Kapanen and Johnson,
he would've got
done, they would have got offer.
Yeah.
100%. I guarantee it now.
But like, Bennett would be a good one.
Yeah.
We haven't got it.
But the thing is, like, Calgary's not really in the spot. I mean, they kind of are.
Who wouldn't? I honestly like. I was so on the fence with Bennett until this year. Now, like, we need him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We fucking need him, right?
For sure.
So, like, that's a guy that he'll make that 3+, which
Yeah.
is going to be really tough
So-
for us.
Okay. Now that we went there,
Calgary.
what is Calgary gonna do?
I honestly think they're going to trade for Leak.
That would be the most sensible.
It actually makes sense because then James Neal has a place to play, which I don't like because they're breaking up 3M. But then we can afford both Bennett and Kachuk pretty easily, assuming Kachuk doesn't sign a like monster deal.
Which I don't see happening.
No, and
It's
like
been pretty quiet on that front, but
Yeah, and then-
there's also like the little news like,
We s-
oh,
we still-
Kachuk's walking in the Stampede parade.
Yeah,
though.
which I mean, obviously he's going.
yeah, he's staying.
He's not
it's just,
leaving.
What's that
I
number?
know, yeah,
And
obviously.
the other thing is, how much does Rittich want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? If he's like, hey, I'm a bona fide
Flames
goalie,
fan, you got to get it right. It's Riddick.
It's-
with a K.
there's a CH there.
He is
Riddick.
not from here. It
That's
is
the
a
same.
K.
It's the same thing as my last name. Just FYI.
Oh yeah, Rouch.
Rao, but
Yeah,
I have a
I'm gonna call
CH.
you Rouch. then. Fucking
Rouchy, what's
Roach.
up? Oh, I get that every day, buddy. Yeah.
Um,
No, but like and so that's actually I didn't like the Cam Talbot signing because my boy Pickard was out there.
yeah. Oh yeah. So I meant to get to
under
that.
a mil
Under $1 million
for 2 years.
Calvin
Oh,
Pickard
oh,
to Detroit of all places.
Fucking awful.
You know why? You know why the Flames went with a $2.5 million goalie? Because Pickard sucks.
He's the best.
Sucks.
I would have bought that
Brent.
jersey so fast.
I know you would.
I would have went to like Hockey Life and
would-
been like, make it.
You would have been like, custom make this shit right now. We don't have P.
Wow.
We don't have
You
big-
better get one.
We weren't
Get
even
a
going to make
Sharpie.
that jersey.
Yeah. But like legit, I don't hate the Talbot signing because of that. Because he's not awful. I don't think he's a starter.
No, definitely.
He's a
not.
backup. But I would have liked if we kept Mike Smith because it's not that big difference.
Smith and Talbot.
Yeah, like it was a swaparoo for Alberta. Which
Oh,
honestly
yeah.
for Edmonton that's a win, in my opinion.
See, I think it's a
A
win for
win?
the Flames.
Yeah.
I think it's a win for the Flames.
I don't see Mike Smith.
I'm
doing
really
that much
hoping
this
this is
year.
the Dubnik syndrome.
Well,
And
see,
it's
that's
just a
my
change of
thought.
scenery,
That's my
even
thought.
though it's
Yeah.
only a 3-hour drive.
Now, but so
Not
it's.
even.
See, I'm not hoping for Devin Dubnyk. I'm not losing.
No.
I'm
Hey.
not insane.
But like it could happen.
But I think the upside of Cam Talbot is better than the upside of Mike Smith right now.
Oh yeah.
Mike Smith
Yeah,
is
well, Mike's
37.
37. Yeah, so that's. I would have liked him on a 1-year deal
Mike
as a
Smith
backup.
is either going to be bad or he's going to get hurt.
Well, he's gonna get hurt. That's not a question.
That's my point. Like,
He's
either he's going to be
37.
so bad he just doesn't play,
He's gonna be like Luongo,
or he's gonna play
basically.
for like 10 games, be
Luongo's-
hot, and then get hurt.
Well, the
Luongo
thing
was
is you
great,
have
but he
to
just got hurt all the
you have
time.
to be good in Edmonton as well. So
yeah,
every goalie that's even remotely
Like,
decent looks bad.
I'm willing to bet that Cam Talbot has better stats by the end of the year. No
well,
question.
like Mike Smith actually didn't have stellar stats last year, except for the playoffs where he was a fucking MVP.
See, that's
Mhm.
another thing that I was gonna say. I
He
feel
almost
like
deserved the
I feel
spot
like
because
people
of
in
that.
Calgary,
Yeah.
especially, the only reason they think that this is a loss
yeah, they
because
forget
of the
about
switch.
it.
Yeah.
is because of the recency bias
Yeah.
of the playoffs.
Like what
Well,
happened?
he was
during
at
the
under
season?
9. He was at under 9 all season. 8, 9, 8. I think.
Oh well, yeah. Like
if I remember right. Yeah.
Right?
his,
So like
yeah, save percentage.
it's really hard to say that Cam Talbot is not a better goalie than Mike Smith or a better choice than Mike Smith.
Well, he's 31.
when you
so he's
just
still
watched
young.
him for an 82 game season be awful.
Yeah.
But like
But
there,
at the same time,
there is an upside because Talbot was like Vezina almost. Like what was it 4 years ago, 3 years ago?
the first year was there.
Yeah,
3
so,
years ago, I think.
Like if he recaptures that in any way, shape, or form,
But let's
That's
not
amazing.
get crazy and also go with the recency bias when it comes to Devin Dubnyk. Took it.
I like him still.
It took Devin Dubnyk,
3
I
teams?
think, 3 or 4 teams
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
to figure it out.
I think he went. Did he go to Arizona first?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it was Arizona,
Nashville.
Montreal.
he went to Montreal. I
something.
remember
Was
that.
it
Montreal was
Nashville?
in there. Let's
I
find
just
it.
remember the year I picked him up in our fantasy, and I was like, "Who is this guy? He's playing so well." I
Yeah,
think that
'cause,
was
like, he was-
4 years ago.
he was
had
on the
his, like,
verge
big
of-
breakout.
He was on the verge of not even being like in the AHL.
Oh, he didn't go to Montreal. I lied.
No, I don't remember that. I remember Phoenix.
So Edmonton to Nashville to their farm team
Nashville.
for 8
Yeah.
games
oh,
to Arizona to Minnesota.
yeah, okay.
All in the
like,
span
2
of
years.
2 seasons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I remember I saw him on Minnesota, and that's when who's the other goalie? He got hurt, and then he just basically phased out.
Yeah. I know. what
Calgary
you're
signed
talking
him,
about,
I think, for like a very small amount of time.
You're right. What's
I
his
can't
name?
remember his name.
No, not Lettinen.
No,
I cannot
God.
remember. He's definitely not
he
playing
was
anymore.
really good when he before
Yeah.
he got hurt at the end.
It was like that crazy season for Nashville when they had just all these
If only we had
goalies.
magical devices that tell us.
or Minnesota, sorry, not Nashville.
Did you find it?
I don't even know what I'm looking for.
He's
right
by
now.
far
Yeah, I don't
their
know.
like most accomplished goalie.
Oh, Minnesota, yeah.
Yeah. Nothing. Either way.
Backstrom?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nicholas Backstrom.
Yeah. Because it's like the other Backstrom.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not.
And he played like what 2 games with the Flames or something.
Yeah, I remember we signed him for like the end of the year, and I was like, "Why did they do that?"
And then I don't think he was seen after that.
No, we let him go right away. But yeah, no, that was I saw when he got hurt, and I was like, "Who is this guy? He's just like losing his mind. He's so good."
Yeah.
Ever since then, he's been pretty steady. Steady Eddie. Yeah, but like going back to Calgary, I think that like if you look at their cap space between Kachuk, Bennett, and Riddick, those
They got
three.
a lot of work. They might have to trade
That's-
2.
I think well, if they could get rid of Stone as well, because he's 3.5 and he's gone next year. Because then that realistically Anderson and Valimaki are going to be starting.
How much you want to bet they try and dangle Stone on waivers?
No, it's not happening.
Why?
Because they can get something for him.
You
Can
never
they?
know if
Can
they
they?
maybe.
He's a right hand. He's pretty he's a pretty big body.
They should. They
Ottawa might need some cap.
Eh,
A bag of pucks, man. Better than nothing.
they
Hey,
had the other
man.
brother.
What's his name? Just signed for $3.5 million.
Yeah, sure.
Sherratt.
Ben Sherratt
Ben Sherratt. 3 years, $3.5 million.
from Winnipeg.
10 team no trade list.
Yeah. It's
Where did
crazy.
What the
go?
hell is Montreal thinking?
Oh, that was to
I don't
Montreal.
know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The guy wasn't even
I
on
saw
my
that
radar.
today and I was just like, wait,
What?
this is Sherratt from Winnipeg?
But like honestly, like Mike, like he actually is Mike Stone has a good shot. Which
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say this before the Ceci trade.
he was.
I
Probably,
I think I talked about it on the podcast 2 or 3 weeks ago. I wouldn't have minded the Leafs going after him.
So
with
like
some-
when Calgary
something.
got him, they played Brody over him for like the longest time on the power play, and then Brody was like
So he had a
disciplined or
shit
something.
year.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened.
Hockey.
But then he actually started playing on the power play, and everyone was like, "Wow, this guy's a good shot." I'm like, "Yeah, he's like 6'3" and like 220 pounds. He's got a bomb."
Yeah.
So like and he's a right-handed defenseman. That's hard to come by in the NHL. But we have
especially with a big shot.
Yeah, like honestly, like I would be okay if Calgary traded Frolik, Stone, and maybe another guy, but like not in our top 6. I wouldn't like that other than Frolik. Like our contracts are
like
too good right now in the top
forwards,
6.
no.
Other than James Neal.
Don't
That's
touch that.
so that's my issue. That's why I was thinking the waiver idea. Because generally speaking, a team that wants Mike Stone,
They're not wanting to pay that.
they probably don't want to pay that, right? So
Even if we retained
they're-
half his salary, I'd be okay.
yeah, but the thing is, you can't afford that.
It's
the
better
Flames,
than 3.5. Is
The
what I'm saying.
Flames can't. Yeah, I agree,
Yeah.
sort of. Right, like, so like you said, they have 9.5 to
So
sign
that's all Chuck.
Riddick, which is basically that's 8 million of that
Legit.
at least.
He'll
is
make
Tkachuk.
8.5 to 9.5.
At
That's
least.
my
Well, I
that's
mean,
my range.
the only hope you got,
5-year deal. I think that's
the
probably
only
what's gonna
hope
happen.
you got. See, that 5-year deal is
I don't
terrifying.
think
I think it's what's going to happen though. I think that's going to be a
I
late
don't-
summer.
if
signing.
it's
I
5
don't
years,
know.
I think it's
I
closer
think
to
you need to
6.
go. Yeah, you need to
I would
go
love
8.
an 8-year deal. Love it.
You need to go
but
8.
it's going to cost us too much.
I think it's worth it in the
Johnny's
long
up
run.
in 2 years.
8 is or the 5-year deal, man. Like
So that's
it's
a tough one.
terrifying. It's terrifying.
That's
Trust
why.
me.
That's why
Trust me, I'm
the
terrified.
Neal sign didn't make sense. They should have lined it up with when Johnny's expired.
Yeah, probably,
But they
you see
didn't see that coming.
20 signs of bad. Phrasing,
Yeah.
or-
But like legit, a
Or-
3-year deal on a 30-year-old, whatever he was, line it up with your best player. So if it
the
doesn't
thing
work
is,
out,
3
you
years
got
he's
that.
not signing here. That the reason they got him was the
Yeah.
term, right? That's the issue. When you sign a
Shoulda-
free agent, you overpay in one of two things: term or money.
Money and term.
This one seems like money and term.
I was gonna say one. It's
Again,
both.
when you see your team sign a bad free agent contract,
I'm willing, because it's been at least a month and a half since I've watched Flames real hockey. I'm willing to give James Neal another shot next year
there you go.
if Frolik's gone.
This is just the crazy part to me. Like
I'm willing either way.
going from the Leafs cap situation to the Flames cap
It's not even
situation,
close.
it's so different, but it's
Oh,
the
yeah.
same result.
Yeah, it's just we have more players that
You
have
just
like
have more like middle of the road
Yeah.
players, and it's weird. Like it's funny how teams that we kind of talked about it last week.
Mm-hmm.
The Vegas Golden Knights going into July 1st were the highest cap team in the league.
which is like crazy.
Crazy to think in just over 2 years.
Well, just between last year with Stastny,
Spend that money.
Pacioretty, and Stone, they were like, yeah,
All the
Like,
money.
all the money is now gone.
Yeah, we got
Luckily,
the money
on
here.
decent players.
Yeah, Stats,
Um,
he's getting paid like 7.5 or whatever he's getting.
But like the
ridiculous.
problem with the Flames though is when you have players and contracts like this, you have to move out like 3 guys.
Dude, I like other than a few bad contracts,
There's-
Calgary looks great.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like James Neal and Frolik are probably the
Stone
biggest
last year
problems.
looked really bad, but because he like never played. But like
Yeah,
this year,
okay.
he's gone next year.
So sure, we'll go with that. James Neal, Michael Frolik, and Michael Stone.
That's it.
That's it.
And
That's all you got.
And Frolik, I don't even mind because he's like a 2-way guy and he's the 3M line.
I've never really
So-
been like, for Leaks contract.
yeah, exactly. It's not even that bad, right?
Like, it's
No,
like
it's
whatever.
under
It's for
5.
Leaks.
And you're
So-
1 year away. It's just
Yeah.
like Marlowe. It's that 1 year that's fucking
And when like
so hard.
Calgary hit so hard on Johnny, Monahan, now Lindholm and Hannafin.
Like imagine Johnny Monty,
Unlucky.
Lindholm, and Hannafin were a couple million each more.
Right.
We would have like
Which isn't
no
out of
third
the
line.
picture, right?
could have easily
like, Right
happened.
now,
Yeah.
it's not out of the picture.
Bennett's gone and we don't have 2 players on our decor.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it's like you'd have to be
It's
super
exactly
creative.
like that. That's
Yeah.
that is the exact situation Toronto's in,
Yeah.
and it drives me insane
Well,
because it's why does this all have to happen now?
So this is like Calgary's going to have this in 2 years.
Probably. Yeah.
Our 2 young defensemen
3.
are going to want to get paid. Giordano's still going to be signed. He's what almost
yeah,
7.
that's true. Yeah,
like
you're right.
you got some big contracts that are in the way.
The 2021 off season
It's going to suck.
is going to be rough.
Calgary's going to lose someone big.
Yeah, you're right.
Huge.
You're right.
Brody probably is
the
going to be gone.
22 off season.
Brody's going to be gone by then.
Yeah.
Brody's
Unfortunately.
unrestricted at the end of the year.
Yeah. So he'll
He's
be gone.
probably gone. Hamanek's unrestricted by then.
Yeah.
But the good thing about the Flames is that there's a lot of money on defense that comes off the books that you're not necessarily happy with.
I feel like a lot's gonna go back on though.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Because
That's
like
coming this year.
Valimaki, Anderson.
Yeah, they'll both get.
We'll see what
some money.
Shillington does. I'm not really
I don't know if he's
completely
gonna
sold
crack
on
the
him
roster.
See,
yet. Yeah.
Vancouver picked up Fanta.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, I was just looking at this, man. Anaheim had a day yesterday and and Tuesday.
I was really disappointed they didn't kick off the signings like they did the trades at trade deadline. Do you guys remember that?
Just like,
Oh, yeah.
trade all the things.
Hey, all these 7 trades that mean
Right.
nothing.
Trade this,
Like,
trade that, trade
Is that
this,
a
trade that,
7th
trade
round
this, trade
pick
that.
for a 7th round pick?
So
Yeah, that was
Anaheim
so weird.
Whoa,
on
watch out.
Anaheim on Tuesday and Wednesday signed 4 players for between $700 a year
Oh,
and
yeah.
$850,000 a year.
Some solid
They're
minimum.
fucked.
They should have done that on July 1st. You would have got your wish.
Honestly, they're like
700,000.
so screwed. Like of all the teams in the NHL, I don't know what they do.
Well, where's like there? I feel like there's no bright spot anywhere.
Well, Nick Ritchie and Sam Steele are like their 2 younger
Rackle.
guys,
record rackle.
and Terry something
Sanheim?
Terry,
No,
Terry, or is that Toronto?
I don't even.
Either way, I
No,
think they have
Sanheim's-
2 ones that I know about, and maybe a 3rd prospect that's like high profile. Other than that, I know nothing. Anaheim has nothing to my knowledge, that's like notable,
Yeah.
which is
They're
crazy.
gonna be a very like blue collar team for the
Like
next couple
Gibson,
of years.
Gibson's great, but he gets hurt almost every year
What a
now,
poor- like-
which is crazy.
So
Yeah.
Kyle Dubas came out after they made the trade for Barrie and said like our forwards deserve us. Our forward and Freddie
Yeah, Freddie
deserve us to
definitely
go
deserves
bolster
it.
up the defense.
Yeah.
What do you think they're thinking in Anaheim? Gibson just won a Vezina this year.
He the first half of the season, you were like, "How is Anaheim still in this?
Yeah.
They cannot
John,
Like
score."
they have no goals for.
Yeah, like legit. They were like, I can't remember how much they were getting outscored, but I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it doesn't even close the match. They're like win
The
lose.
reason was John Gibson.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was awesome. It sucked having him in fantasy. I'll tell you that. No
Yeah,
wins.
no
Lost,
doubt.
lost,
Oh, it was
lost.
brutal.
Fucking 975 save percentage though.
Drafted him
Yeah.
so early too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you won't be doing that this year.
Who knows? Maybe.
No, you might. You're pretty bad at that.
Pretty bad at goalies.
You are actually like probably one of the worst. You probably
Hey.
draft Pickard
Bernier's got to watch out.
last round. Pickard.
Howard's gonna get hurt. Bernier
I
sucks.
legit will do that. Not even like
If you do, I'll be very happy.
take a snapshot. Be like,
So
MVP
shall we
pick.
finish with trades? I guess.
There,
Recent-
Do we want to finish the?
We
Flames?
gotta wait. We're missing someone.
big
Uh,
on
which-
Calgary,
Yeah.
or
Come on, man. I
Big on
can't think
Cal-
of it right now.
we said Bennett.
No, not on Calgary.
Okay, I was like, we went through it.
We're
For
missing
who?
someone. Who's the big contract? Come on.
Oh,
Brandon.
Panarin?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay, so we can get in that.
that's
too.
a
right.
win.
Yeah, I think so.
It's
Man,
a lot of money, but hell, dude's a fucking stud. So,
So
and he wants to be there.
this
Let's-
is like this is why I love and hate the new like cap era. A year ago, New York wasn't even close to making the playoffs. They're a borderline playoff team now.
Yeah. Well,
Borderline after the moves they made. And that
basically,
draft?
depending on Lundqvist, yeah.
I mean, capo, whatever you say it.
Capo, capo,
Capo.
First, I want to talk
Just going
about
Coco.
like I agree. They're definitely going to be
3 huge ads.
that like
3 huge ads.
they'll be in the 7 to 11. in
Yeah,
the
they'll be
Eastern
chasing a
Conference
wild
right
card.
now.
Yeah,
you'd
like
think.
like that's what I mean though. Like they were like bottom of the barrel.
Oh, they were awful.
And now the
There's a
cap
reason
era
they
has
were good.
allowed them.
Well, they were awful, but
To-
they weren't. Because last year
Eh,
they had like 35 one-goal games or something crazy.
Did they
It's-
actually?
Just like when
Yeah.
the Leafs finished last two, right? Like they did the same thing. They
Well,
worked hard.
Zibanejad was on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kreider's still really good.
But
still,
I want
so.
to talk about the Sunday to Monday situation that was free agency. Sunday night, I read an article from Pierre Lebrun that had probably like the top 15 free agents with a home, barring a couple guys.
Yeah, everyone knew he was. Gonna be
Panarin's was the Island.
No,
Yes.
really.
What?
Yes. Panarin was going to the Islanders on
We've
Sunday night.
we've talked about this all
Really?
year. He wanted to go to New York, but not
Yeah.
the Islanders.
He was going to the Island on Sunday night.
I didn't hear that.
It was
Took
in the article.
Took the wrong plane, man.
And then all of a sudden on Sunday or on Monday morning,
They caught him at the airport. Hey,
on Monday morning, he ends up in
that's crazy.
the big city,
Huh.
the heart of the big city, and signs with the Islanders' arrival. That has got to hurt.
Yeah, that's
That you never know. Like maybe that would have changed what they did with Lee.
That's why Lee didn't sign till later.
I never thought about that. I didn't even know this was a thing because
Yeah.
I've like since what was it like middle of February, I've heard that he's going to New
That's all
York
you heard,
Rangers.
right?
That's all he wants to do.
Yeah.
Sorry, Columbus, he's gone. I haven't heard anything different for like the last 3 months.
Yeah.
And as soon as he signed there, I was like, yeah, it's no brainer. We've been hearing about that since February.
Yeah.
When they didn't trade him. Yeah, so makes sense. And like Bob,
Yeah, it's
oh,
crazy.
jeez.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? The 10 mil.
I think it had to be done
The terms.
sure that's
gonna suck
Yeah, it's
in 4 years.
for sure.
it's a sketchier one.
But Florida looks like a really good team again.
Yeah.
On paper, do you think they can do it? That's
Yeah.
gonna be tough.
that Atlantic is going to be gross.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
Actually, yeah, it's pretty thick.
2
It's a
years.
thick
2 years
con-
of the
That's what
Leafs,
she said.
the Bruins, and the Lightning.
It is thick.
Girthy.
3 years of the Leafs, the Bruins, the
Girthy.
Lightning
Yeah.
at the top, and now all of a sudden there's 6 teams.
There's
Yeah, it's gonna be a struggle.
not gonna
bus.
lie, the West looks weaker, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
I feel like the West has looked weaker the last. It's
Well,
like
just
it's
like-
started to trend
like-
the other way a little bit.
Well, you just see like, LA and San Jose
Right.
to an extent.
Well,
they're
like
still
because that was
really
such
good.
a powerhouse that
Yeah,
California for
like
so
you go
long.
down there. Well, even us in Anaheim, what was it like 20 games?
Yeah,
in a row? Like,
26
fuck,
games.
that was brutal.
Yeah,
But like now it's like that should be a cakewalk.
it's not
other than
nearly
San
as
Jose.
scary.
Yeah.
Right? You'd be like, shit, I'm going on the California swing. That's like
Yeah,
maybe a
it's like
win, hopefully
Bluesville.
two.
Now
Yeah.
it's like, hey, let's go party after our win.
Yeah, let's go to the beach.
Yeah.
Not even thinking about the hockey game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing though. Like the whole, it's changed a lot. The landscape of like both conferences really.
It's
It's the switch over.
we were saying it before we started, and maybe it is the recent bias or whatever, but I don't remember there being this many like shifts in power in the NHL. Maybe like trades, but like shifts in like conferences, like who should be a playoff team. Like last year, it was like pretty standard, except for a few teams that surprised everybody, like New York. But like this year, I feel like there's not really a lot of surprises that are going to come our way. If Edmonton's good, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah.
If they keep Puljujarvi, I'd be very surprised. Like that's like those are the types of things. But like other than that, like I think we know the teams. Vancouver would be a surprise if they did.
You probably would have said the same thing last year though too, right?
Yeah.
And then halfway through the season, you're like, wait, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
So
that
that's
was it.
we were kind of talking about it before
Islanders
we got
are
on
in
air.
first.
Like you said, you think that this was probably the most
Like
quality free agents we've had.
eventful, yeah.
You said this is the most quality free agents we've had in a long time. I disagree so much.
I wouldn't
with
say
that.
quality, like quantity of notable players.
But they aren't though.
Like quality,
there
it'd
was
be
only, like-
like Carlson Tavares. Like that's hard to beat. Like that's impossible.
Yeah, but he wasn't even
Yeah.
a free agent. That's the thing, right? Like
Not really. Yeah.
he wasn't. He never got there.
Yeah. It was so close though.
Right? It basically there was like 5. There was like 5 notable free agents, and then the rest was just like the middling players.
Yeah. Whereas like
I think it's so recency bias to say that this was like the best free agency we've had in a long time. The RFAs,
that's I think
change a
that
lot of
I think
things.
that's what's maybe making this a little bit more because it impacts.
but
what
even
they
then,
do with
like
restricted.
the RFAs are doing nothing. Like nothing is happening. The only
Yeah.
thing that happened was what we talked
half
about.
of them
with
are going to
Ottawa.
go to like arbitration. It's going to be.
It's all like it's all like the speculation, right? There's so much talk about all these RFAs too because every one of them is so important to their team.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
that's
like,
what
oh,
I mean.
but like, what
like,
are they gonna get?
I
Where-
feel like all of them are going to go to arbitration, or most of them, because a dime is so important in this league now that you can't afford to overpay people, right? Like, so they're all going to go and use their arbitration rights and try to get it done before.
I don't know about all. I
I-
feel
well,
like
I
I feel
think
like
most-
most of them won't.
I don't know, man.
Because-
You understand how arbitration works, right?
Yeah,
Like none of the big ones have it.
almost all of them do.
No.
Rantanen
No.
has it, doesn't he?
No.
I'm like pretty sure he does.
None of the Kachuk doesn't have it. Rantanen doesn't have it. Marner doesn't have it. You have to be in the league for 5 years to get it.
No. So this is like the team. If they don't sign him, he can't play.
Yeah, but that's not arbitration.
No, maybe I'm mixing it up. But that's
Crackhead.
what I meant. Whatever that's
Like,
called.
Cody Ceci had arbitration.
What's it called?
Sam
when-
Bennett has arbitration.
Yeah.
Players' rights? Is that what I'm trying to think of? Whatever they're
Maybe.
like, think of Nylander last year. All these restricted free agents, they cannot play unless their teams.
Yeah,
That's
but
him not signing a
restricted
contract,
free agent.
basically.
That's
Yeah.
it.
But that's what I'm saying. I think they're all like maybe not arbitration, but they're gonna go that route where they're gonna go and hold off so they don't pay or
the
pay a premium.
holdout. I guess, but
Unless
like,
there's a team that has the
I
money.
feel like if you're reasonable in the head, that's big a mistake.
But this isn't players and coaches. This is agents and GMs.
Eh,
But player has a big
the player's the
influence
boss.
on
Oh,
that, though.
if like the agent like says no and the player was like, I would have said yes, you're fired.
Fuck yeah, I'd say fuck your agent
Yeah.
then. Get
well,
the hell
yeah,
out of here.
the player is always the boss. That's
Yeah.
what you have to remember for the first. If the player wants to play, the player's going to play.
Yeah.
Period. He can sign a 1-year deal if he wants to.
I think half these guys, like, well, they're young, right? So they just say, hey, I hired an agent. He's gonna deal with it.
Well, so before we go crazy, that's the way it was.
I think it still is a bit.
The thing, it used to be that the player was going to play. The player was just going to take what he got. I have an agent. Agent says this is fine.
It used
But
to be if you
now-
win, you get paid. Now it's not.
But now there's so much of this. You only get to do this so many times. Get what you're worth right now. Period. End of story. And it's changing the landscape big time. Obviously, you've seen
all
it
these
with-
huge contracts right out of
Yeah,
free
like,
agency.
it
or
used to be.
restricted.
It used to be the Connor McDavid's, the Sidney Crosby's, the Austin
Yeah, they're like-
Matthews
You can't pass them up.
that got the big money. Like
yeah.
what? Probably 5 years ago, even Aho doesn't get that.
Hell, we were saying Draisaitl was the worst contract ever. Now it looks great. Like
Definitely
that's how
not
much
terrible.
it's changed in like
It's
2
not
years.
even close to terrible,
It's great.
right? It's
Take that
insane.
for a 50-goal scorer.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just nuts, right? So like
Who's
these
not
gambles.
going to be not a 50-goal scorer? Like, won't surprise me if he does that again.
No,
I-
no,
I
no.
don't think it'll surprise anybody.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of the highlights of his career. I don't
Oh,
think he's
for
doing
sure.
much better, but that's
But,
still
right,
really,
like-
really good.
This summer is gonna drag out and drag out.
That's what I mean.
And drag
There-
out and drag out.
That's what I meant. I didn't like. I think I just mixed up the word that I'm trying to think of with arbitration. But all these contracts are not going to be easy ones like Carolina, where they get the deal. They're going to go all the way because all these teams are fighting for every penny.
I made that joke, like after Carolina said they were gonna match it. I was like, okay, Montreal offer sheet Marner for 10.
Yeah, they
Let's
just
go.
go. They just go next.
Kachuk.
Like,
Kachuk's
oh, okay,
worth
well,
maybe 8, like 7.5.
Yeah, how about
Let's
you-
go 7.5.
yeah. Offer that. Come on, let's go,
Get
Canadians.
that $1 million discount. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Just make everybody's problems disappear. It'd be the first
I'll
time
give
the
you a
Leafs fan
third round
be-
pick for free if you do this.
Yeah.
I would love that. That would be
Here's,
great.
here's an extra pick.
Offer sheet my player on the DL, please.
Yeah,
I just
and then the trade will just say, or like third round pick for future consideration.
Yeah, there you go.
but right, it's the weird thing where
I'll buy you lunch.
Sebastian Aho signed that offer sheet. And that's another thing. I guess we should
He must
probably
have known.
we should probably clear it up here because Twitter is
diverse.
Just a mess.
so out to lunch on this.
Just don't
An
understand.
offer sheet, when an offer sheet is tendered, like what happened to Aho signed a contract
he
with
accepted
Montreal.
it. He didn't reject it.
Because everybody's
He
like,
can reject it.
I've seen like 5 or 6 comments on Twitter, and it's like, well, I mean, Aho probably won't even accept this.
He
Aho
already
already
accepted
did
it.
accept
It did.
this,
Except
He
the
did,
day
yeah.
of.
and they're like, well, maybe somebody else offer sheets higher.
Oh,
That's not how
God.
this
Well,
works.
It's already
What's
done.
the minimum? I think to get a third round pick, you have to be under 1.3 or something like that.
No, under 1.3
It's
is
nothing. Yeah.
Oh, so it's over 1.3
Over
or
1.3
something.
to
Yeah.
like.
So they
2 or
could have
something.
offer sheeted him for 1.31 for a third round pick. Of course, he's not going to
Yeah,
accept that.
obviously.
The player-
Right.
That's what like
The player has to accept the deal. So then
Yeah.
everybody's like, well, is there any way that Carolina can restructure the deal? No.
No, it's
They
The deal's
have
done.
They're
the
done.
deal. Basically, what Carolina is doing currently, they've said they're going to match it. But what Carolina said they're going, or what Carolina gets to choose is, does Aho play for Montreal, making 8.5,
or
blah
Carolina.
blah blah, making so much signing bonus, or does he pay for Carolina, making 8.5, blah blah blah, with blah 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 signing bonuses?
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
is what's happening right now. There's no like, oh, maybe the Colorado Avalanche come flying in with another offer sheet. Like that's not how this works.
Yeah.
The
If
offer
he
sheet
didn't,
is signed,
if he didn't
it's over.
accept, then
It's not like a raffle or something.
It's on like an open auction.
Like, he's just sitting here. Yeah, it's
Come
on like
on,
a silent
Sunday,
auction.
sold.
Oh my god, they only get the 8.5. Well, we'll
Oh,
go
right,
9.
write a number
Yeah.
down.
We'll go 9. Oh, 9.5.
That would
Oh,
actually be
10.
crazy.
That would be
Yeah,
insane.
eight and a half,
I wouldn't
there and
mind
there.
that.
Screw the NHL draft. Let's just have an auction.
Auction for players, and they have
At
to stand up
18.
there.
It gets to a certain date, all
Just stand up
UFAs
there.
are just auctioned.
Salary cap auction. Oh yeah, we had that. It was called the like 50s.
It's like Monopoly, man. You pick up the
When the
card,
hell
you're like,
was
I don't
the-
want this.
I need to
Auction.
Google this. I can't find my mouse. What the hell's happening?
Oh my
There it is.
god!
When was the first NHL entry draft?
What, you think there was an auction?
Well, yeah, that's what used to happen. That's why the
Is that actually?
well, no, it wasn't an auction, but it was like, hey, come to play for the Toronto.
Oh, people got to pick.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
like,
it wasn't
here's-
like structured.
Here's $3
and-
million. Obviously not back then, but it was
Yeah.
like, here's $300,000. Come to my team.
I haven't cared about hockey since like the '90s. So,
Since I was born in 91.
1963.
my god.
Oh yeah. Fuck.
The first NHL entry draft, at the time was known as the NHL Amateur Draft, was held on June 5th, 1963. There you go. That's when this all came to be. Now you know.
Knowledge is power.
Yes.
Brett, we need the
The star.
more you know.
The star. Yeah, the
the
more,
more
you
you
know.
know.
Don't you put it in your mouth.
Okay, so let's just continue down the big signings, I guess. Then, I just don't want to miss somebody.
Pavelski'd be a big one.
Yeah, Pavelski. That's like I guess
3
we,
years, 7
Yeah,
we
we
years.
haven't
touched on
talked about that.
we touched on Dallas winning, but we didn't really touch
Right.
on why.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pavelski's huge.
That's
They had a
awesome.
big day though. Corey
Yeah,
Perry,
They
Yeah.
won free.
Corey Perry, Sekera, and
Corey
Pavelski.
Perry for 1.5. That's a steal
But
for a
there's
year.
bonuses. There's bonuses.
It's not
But,
a
dude,
bad risk, right?
Like, what's
There's
the risk?
attainable bonuses. Yeah,
What's
no,
the
I
risk?
agree.
yeah.
Would you rather have James Neal or Corey Perry?
Oh,
For me, that's a no-brainer.
Well, I'd rather have James Neal personally.
I'd rather
right
have
now.
Corey Perry for the physical aspect.
whoa, just wait.
You
For the
just
physical,
hold
he's
your
broken.
tongue.
Just wait. Yeah, exactly.
His knee's broken.
Hold on.
That's a pretty big.
Corey
Where's it,
Perry.
his shoulder?
Corey
That's-
Perry this July 1st, or James Neal the July 1st after going to the Cup final with Vegas.
Right now.
James Neal, 100%.
Right now. Right this second.
Well, yeah, right now, but that's not what you have to choose from.
Sure, you can trade James Neal. Bag of pucks. Here you go.
But James Neal looked like a way better signing.
Went to Stanley
than-
Cup 3 years in a row and got 20 goals every year.
Yeah.
Then he was like, I forgot how to do that for a year.
I forgot how to hockey.
Did
It
I?
smells different.
Did
over
you
here.
pay me money yet? Okay, I'm done.
Right? So
Take me home.
this is a great deal for Dallas for sure. But at the
Oh.
same time, so it's 1.5, but he gets a $250,000 bonus at 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 games.
Which is fine if he actually plays.
If he plays 50 games,
That's actually hilarious that that's in the contract.
he didn't last year,
It's like,
right? So that's
No,
how
huge.
he
many?
didn't.
How many? You know, we probably won't even
Um,
pay him that much. He'll make it to 30.
let's see what he did last year,
I think he played like 30, if that.
if that.
Yeah, I don't even know.
But at the same time, he was really hurt.
He might have
was
played
coming off
more
hip
than that
surgery or
and
something.
just-
31.
He's still
Yeah.
injured. That's why
So
they
let's
got him. right?
call it. Well, no, but you can't buy out injured players.
But it's a year deal, 1 year deal.
No, but you can't buy out an injured player.
Oh, you're talking about Anaheim.
Yeah. So he's not injured,
Hmm.
and Dallas wouldn't sign an injured player either. They would get him physical, and he's not
Yeah.
injured. Is he broken? Like, is he going to break? Like, is he put together
Well,
with
like-
duct tape?
Yeah,
Probably.
Like he's injured. He's just not really
he
hurt
passes
right
a
now.
physical, right? Like that's the deal.
Can he walk?
But so
Yeah.
assuming he hits 30 games again, this is a $2.25 million contract.
Which is still worth it, I think.
maybe.
This is like
Is it worth 2.25 for 10 points?
We'll see. You'd
depends on
hope.
where he plays, man. Because like I actually think like he's one of those guys that's really fucking in your face in front of the net. And I don't like other than Jamie Benn, like they don't really have that. Like Radulov, So.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, we're just talking about that. If he plays the grindy, like physical Corey
He'll
Perry,
get hurt.
he's playing
Yeah.
10 games.
Yeah.
That's the
That's-
thing, right? If
I would play him like that. That's
he's
what
the
his game
perfect-
is.
He's the perfect player for Anaheim at the moment. If he plays that way,
Not for 8.5 or whatever
no,
he's getting
but
paid.
whatever, they're still paying
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But
But like legit, I like if Calgary obviously couldn't do that
They
just because we're in a crunch already. But like, that's a great risk. in
I
my
agree,
opinion.
and it's
Because if
definitely
he even gets close, like half of what his was like usual was like 2 years ago, he's getting like 20 goals. I guess 3 years ago.
I doubt he hits 20.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he will either.
I bet.
But he's like a third line guy on that team.
I put him at 25 points.
If he plays
10,
well,
15.
he's playing with Pavelski on the second line, or Pavelski's playing with the two gong shows up top.
Yeah,
Radulov slides
which
down.
okay, but this is my issue.
That makes
right?
that
Like,
team way more.
I feel
dynamic.
like a lot of what's happening with Corey Perry is very similar to what's happening with Spezza.
Spezza is, yeah.
You gotta stop the name recognition stuff. Like Corey Perry is
He's
not
36,
40 goal
right?
Corey Perry.
Because that's one I looked. I thought I looked at it and I was like, he's
34.
36. Okay, so that's what I mean.
So
So he's still
35
got like
probably.
2, maybe
Actually, no,
3
34.
years of hockey left if he takes care of himself.
He should, but at the same time, when you go like a 30-game season, that's really hard to recover from. When
Last 2 years he's been kind of hurt, right?
well, no, he played 82 in 16-17, 71 in 17-18, and then 31 last year. So
Yeah.
this is what sucks for him. I heard this after he signed. He's 12 games from being like the third Duck in history to play all 1,000 games of his career
Really?
in Anaheim.
That's pretty.
988. So he's hitting his 1,000. I guarantee he hits 1,000 games.
That
Would you
silver
rather
stick.
play hockey or play in Anaheim? It's a tough one, right? So
Play hockey or play Anaheim? Wow,
Yeah.
that's rough.
it's not hockey.
Gotta
in
gotta
Anaheim.
choose.
It's garbage.
But I feel like the Corey Perry aspect of this gets a lot more.
I think he could do something there,
Oh, for sure,
especially with the guys he's probably going to play with.
for sure.
I don't think his impact will be that huge. But
No, like I bet you he plays on the power play. Either
If he
first or
hits
second.
25 points for 2.25,
I think he'll get over
yeah,
25.
yeah.
if he hits same thing. If he plays 50 games, and if he hits 25 points, he's playing more than 50 games.
So
Yeah.
I think a big
So
reason.
that means he's worth 3.
I think a big reason Dallas is now, potentially like almost a contender overnight, is because they added that little depth guy that they didn't have, which is Pavelski's
Yeah.
not really a depth guy, but it shifts.
Well, no,
around
it's
their
another
lineup.
guy, right?
Yeah,
it pushes. It's one of those things where you slot a guy above someone, pushing that guy down. It's kind of what happened to Kadri,
Exactly.
right? You put Tavares in the Leafs lineup, that puts Kadri on the third line. Holy shit, he scores 30 goals.
But like a great comparison is like Calgary on paper is a great team, but they could not play playoff hockey because like no one wanted to hit, which
Yeah.
is like ridiculous. And I think Corey Perry's like a pretty. He's not like a super physical guy anymore, but he's an agitator,
yeah,
right?
for
Which
sure.
is like huge later
Yeah.
on in the season,
yeah, for sure.
right?
But
and I would love to have someone like that
the
on
thing
my
is,
team.
he's probably not going to be around.
That's what I'm saying. If he's healthy and takes care of his body, great risk. And they even have it in the bonuses. Like,
But yeah,
that's
so
great.
Yeah,
then-
it's even lined up.
Yeah.
So he gets
to
so he gets
be
the
that way.
250 for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Then he also gets playoff qualification bonus for $250,000 if he plays in 50 games or more. And then he gets a playoff bonus of another 100,000 if the club wins 3 rounds and he played 50% of the games. So that one's unattainable. And then if they win the cup, he gets another 150. So that's unattainable. He
But, like,
could, in
legit.
theory, in my opinion, get
Like 2.5.
3.25.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2.5 is probably reasonable.
2.5 is expected, in my opinion.
Yeah. But like, if things go his way, the dice align correctly, he could make some bank. And I
But at
honestly,
the same time, he's making bank anyway.
yeah, he's got like $8 million.
He's got quite
to
the
Well,
bio
yeah. How
for a
much
while.
did he
Yeah.
get? Is he getting?
yeah.
From
So
that?
like honestly, I think that's a great risk to take because it's a 1-year deal, which is so hard to get on players like that. And it's the
Yeah.
contract is favorable.
Is it though?
I think
probably
it
it
is.
probably is.
I don't
not
think
right
it is
now
this year.
anymore.
I don't know, man.
He's like far from the only veteran that signed for a year, though. That's the issue.
That's the only thing.
That's
like,
kind of the only contracts you get at this point. In my
yeah,
opinion,
maybe it is
more
the
so.
name that's carrying a lot of weight for me.
You're-
But it's
Yeah, I
Corey
don't know. if
Perry-
it's- I just
Corey
don't
who
have the same
scored
kind of.
like 50 goals.
Yeah, he did it
not
like
that
once.
long
You're like
ago.
50 and 07 Dan Healy.
He did
right
like
now.
No.
one.
I
He
like
did it
Dan
like
Healy
once.
too.
Yeah, 50 and
Bring
07.
Spezza, Healy, and Corey Perry.
You should name
Where's
your fantasy
Zetterberg?
team
What about
50 and
Bobby
07.
Ryan?
Oh God, Bobby Ryan's still getting paid 7.
But he was
God.
really good though, right?
Once.
I don't think he ever actually was.
And then, like, Sekera's good depth, too, right? Sekera's an NHL defenseman.
I actually
I hope
don't.
he goes back to Sekera.
I didn't.
As-
Fuck me.
It was Edmonton, right? I never really watched him on Edmonton, so I don't really know how good or bad he is.
He was
It's-
injured so much
he-
there too, right?
I don't think it wasn't really an issue of him being bad. It was just, is he worth $5.5 million on the Oilers? No,
Yeah.
right?
Oilers really didn't have much, right?
They can't
Chris
afford to
Russell.
have another contract.
They can't
like
afford a
that.
$5.5 million problem.
Yeah.
So at the one and change that he signed in Dallas, what is it? Oh, sorry,
It's probably less than
1.5 plus
Is it?
bonuses, I believe.
Like, that just makes them stronger on D. Didn't they sign Jordy Ben too?
Oh, so he got games played bonuses as well.
Did they sign Jordy Ben?
Who? No, that was
Dallas?
Vancouver, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind. Yeah.
So
him and Tyler
Sekera gets $100,000 at 40 games, 50 games, 60 games, and 70 games, with a playoff qualification bonus of $100,000 if the team makes the
Legit?
playoffs and he plays 50 games.
Why aren't more contracts like that? Like that. Those are
They-
great contracts.
Yeah, they should. A lot of them should be like
Yeah. Hey, if you
Yeah.
play a lot of games,
It's-
we'll pay you a lot of money.
that, especially older guys like this.
That
Yeah.
makes
Like-
a lot of sense.
Almost every 35 plus contract should be like this.
Yeah.
Especially this stage of the NHL, right? Because they just can't keep up. It's not the same, man. You can't
Well,
just coast around anymore.
It's not that they
And,
can't
like,
keep up. It's just like they break down. Like,
Well, that's.
Yeah.
But yeah.
yeah, they'll get injured and they can't play, and it's like, well, if you don't play games, you don't get paid. Like that's perfect.
But at the same time, right? Like, if they get hurt, then they're on LTIR or IR,
yeah, it doesn't.
and it doesn't matter anyway.
It's still just a
Yeah.
nice
But-
thing.
I agree.
Save
and then
yourself
like
some money.
so we talked about it. Jason Spezza signed for $700,000.
Which is crazy.
Beautiful.
That is only because it's the Leafs.
Probably.
He's a Toronto kid.
He wouldn't go anywhere else, probably, right?
I don't think
Well,
so.
like,
he's pretty old too.
Who knows?
36.
Yeah,
But
he's
unlike
a great face-off
unlike
guy.
the last two guys we were talking
Or was. I
about,
don't know if he
not
still is.
not the
prolific
cause of a
player he
buyout.
used to be.
he just was an unrestricted free agent.
At Dallas didn't want him anymore. I think he didn't get along with like the staff there. Or at least when Hitchcock was there, they did not get along.
No, probably not.
So
Which is kind of weird because Spetz is kind of like
seems like
he's a defensive,
yeah.
like he's not a run and gun offensive player.
Ottawa
Yeah.
hated when he left.
Shall we talk about the Oilers?
What's to be said?
Well, they one of the
They
better
did so good in getting
one of
Mike
the better
Smith.
deals in my opinion of July 1st was Chason actually signing for
2 years.
2 years, but 2.15. That's a pretty good deal.
I don't know if what he
So
did
4.3
last year
total.
was a flash of what, like almost like a mirage, because like when he was on Calgary, it
Whoa.
was like non-existent.
Yeah, but he was-
and even on
He
like
was only there
Washington.
he was only there from deadline, right?
Yeah, no, and like even from like on Washington, like he wasn't-
Yeah, but
he
same
didn't
can
do
be said
much.
about Dallas, right? Like, but the thing is, you gotta understand this. Like, not everybody can play with Sidney Crosby. Not everybody can play with Connor McDavid.
I don't think Chason can play with either of those guys.
He did.
I don't think he's good enough. I think for Connor McDavid, not Crosby. Connor McDavid, you need someone that can keep up, because then Connor McDavid's just all by himself.
Yeah, but this is the thing with a line like that. You can only have so much money on a line.
If you put Athanasiou, Dylan Larkin, and Connor McDavid on the line,
Yeah, that's an Olympic fucking line.
I'm just saying.
that's $40 million.
No, Larkin's
Yeah.
6.5. Athanasiou's 3. 9 million.
Yeah,
so that's
until
just
he's out
over-
of his first contract.
But I'm just saying, right now it could happen. That'd be crazy.
Yeah,
so you got to find players like
you know how
that.
that
to play with
happens.
them.
You know how that happens. You
Magic.
actually draft a decent player.
Well, we're not talking about Edmonton then.
I know. So you gotta like.
But I'm
pop-
just saying,
pump
you
the
get like
brakes.
you could probably pry Athanasiou away from
With what?
PRV easy. That'd be an easy 1-for-1. They're not gonna do that.
Ooh, Detroit's not doing that.
I
No,
would never take
but-
that. You.
But
What
I'm
the?
just
That's
saying.
what I'm saying. Like, what do they have?
Detroit has no reason
That's
to get
it.
rid of
That's
those
all
guys
they have.
either.
Yeah, so
And
they can't.
If they want to
easily
trade
pry him
Nurse,
out of there. What?
if they want to trade Nurse, I don't think they will.
No.
But those are their big pieces. Those two.
Great, so they can have one player.
Well, no, but like you could trade PRV for a handful of like either picks or prospects. That
Handful
are,
of what? Seventh?
no, but you think he's that bad?
No, I don't think he's that bad. But a handful, 5 picks.
If you really wanted to, they'd be bad.
Yeah,
No.
that's why I said
No,
seven.
I'm saying if you trade him, you could get like 3 prospects probably. I think so.
B prospects.
Yeah, like
Yeah, but take a
why?
gamble on a couple like used to be good prospects and now they're like fringe.
Great.
That's exactly what Edmonton fucking needs.
Dude, honestly, they
More
need
fringe prospects.
they need something because they're
Yeah.
not. They don't.
need
They can't
something
afford it.
drastic. That's the
You can't
thing
go
about
for a big
Edmonton.
player because they can't pay a big player.
This is the issue. If you're an Oilers fan and you just watched the Rangers do what the Rangers did,
Because they didn't have that shitty 2 or 3 contracts. I shouldn't
Don't
say
they?
shitty. Well, they have 2 bad ones, but they're not that bad. Like Shattenkirk's not that bad. He still plays.
so did Sekera.
Is he the captain there?
No, Mark Stahl
Shattenkirk?
still. I think. Is Mark,
Mark
Stahl?
Stahl's the captain still?
He was. I
Oh
don't know
my
if he still
God.
is.
I don't know.
I feel like
I'll have to
Shattenkirk
Google
was
that.
captain. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, because he signed there 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
For a ludicrous amount of money. But I thought Mark
No,
Stahl.
they had 5 alternate captains last year.
No, they didn't even have a captain. There you
I
go.
thought Mark Stahl was. He probably got stripped when they were like, "We're rebuilding."
Yeah.
I don't know, but okay. So anyway, back to
They have to get rid of
Oilers
Lucic.
signings. Well,
That's
yeah,
the
but
only way they make things happen.
how.
They have to give him away.
Magic, dude.
Like, give him away and cover half his salary.
A fucking wizard. They need Will Smith, the genie.
Like legit. Like honestly, they probably
So
should
bad.
just buy him out.
Dude,
it's tough though.
we
For
just-
4
so,
years, 5 years.
Cap Friendly has a buyout tool, and
Actually?
I was
I've never
curious, and I checked Lucic's buyout.
Because he's getting paid 6 and a bit right now.
His cap hit is 6.
Yeah.
It's pretty messed
This is
up.
the buyout. This is what the buyout looks like if they buy him out today.
Everything is just
So he is currently owed $19 million by the Oilers.
Ridiculous.
11.5 of that is signing bonus, which makes this retarded.
How much
just
money
buyout.
they'd have to pay him. Yeah.
So in 1920, his cap hit, if they bought him out, would still be 3.625. Seems, a little high. 2020, 2021, his cap hit is $5.625 million.
He's not
They might as
playing.
well have him on the roster.
Yeah.
2021, 2022, his cap hit is 4.125. And then in 2022, 2023, it's back to 5.625. And then for the next 4 years after that, it's a measly 625,000. Is that really worth buying him out?
No. If you're saving less than $1 million.
Two
two
of
of
the
the
4
years.
years, you're saving $400,000 basically.
That was such a bad sign. Him and like Luai Eriksson. Like, why did either team do that? But anyway, like they just have to like move people.
I agree.
I don't think it's so much a composition thing. It's they need to be like,
But-
hey, things are not going well.
Look
It's
at-
got to change.
Look at what happened just in the week between the draft and the free agency. Patrick Marleau moved for a first-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if you're Edmonton, that's roughly a second, probably.
Yeah,
But a team's gonna want your first,
Yeah.
obviously.
Who wouldn't?
For Lucic, you're
it's
want-
3
you're-
picks more.
For Lucic, you're asking for the first, no
Oh,
question,
yeah.
right? Because that so we
to eat up
talked.
that cap. Yeah,
We talked about this last week. Carolina basically paid roughly $4 million
for a first-round pick.
for a first-round pick.
That's a great deal.
That's not a bad deal.
That's a great deal.
It's just crazy coming from Carolina,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
For
as
a
soon
team
as you
like
saw
that.
they were like, oh, they're buying him out, so he can
Yeah.
go play San Jose
Yeah.
or somewhere else.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. San Jose doesn't have any money.
Yeah.
They could get him cheap, I bet.
Oh, they'll get him
he's
for
gonna
league
retire
minimum.
there.
They'll get him for league minimum,
Yeah.
but they don't even have that. Anyway, but that was $4 million. If a team takes on Lucic,
2 first-round picks.
right? So like, and then on top, so that's Patrick Marleau,
Yeah.
PK Subban, a player that can still play pretty good hockey, who most recently fetched Shea Weber,
What a bad trade that was.
only received 2 second-round picks basically and some middling prospects. The cap space is so valuable
It's
right
crazy.
now.
Yeah.
It's only going to get worse.
You think the Oilers don't have, well, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Currency to trade for a player like Athanasiou? But they have somehow currency to get rid of Lucic and get rid of some of these other bad contracts?
No, that's what I'm saying. They have
So
to.
how?
They have to bank on guys that other teams haven't, and that's the only way they can make it happen.
Man, Ken Holland is in for
How else
a
do you do
few
it,
years
man?
of hurt.
There's no other way.
You have
to find those like Strome type players that haven't worked out somewhere else.
Honestly-
and you hope it works out where you are.
honestly, I think you just got to eat this 4 years and
Just
pray to just draft with all you
but
got.
think about this: 4 years of Connor McDavid
I know.
down the drain. How can you do that? It's
I
crazy.
don't know.
It's fucking trade Connor McDavid. If that's what you're gonna do.
Yeah. Right.
Fucking full rebuild. Connor
Again,
McDavid is gone.
man, it's
That'd
just
be crazy.
See, if they
That'd be
would have
crazy.
actually done that properly, pre Connor
There's-
McDavid.
they just should.
There's gonna be a point where
Yeah,
he
that-
says, "I want out." He wants to win.
Hopefully, it doesn't come to that. But
next year. We've talked about it.
Maybe, man.
if they have another bottom feeding year, and like last year wasn't really bad, but it was bad because of the expectations.
I don't know, man.
But
I think a lot of it is just where they are. Every time I go to Edmonton, no one is happy. They're all fucking sour because their water tastes bad. Or something here.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong.
Something's
with the
wrong
water.
with the water.
Something's wrong.
I can't believe you said that
So
on TV.
okay, let's put it this way. So Connor McDavid, not a bad contract. Leon Draisaitl, not a bad contract.
Yeah.
Milan Lucic, bad contract.
They have like 3 okay contracts.
Nugent Hopkins, not a bad contract.
That's borderline. 6 and a bit, right?
Yeah, but he's a second line center. He plays third though for them.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like, I
So,
don't know. That's
that-
a tough one. It could be good. Could be. Good.
You, Mr. Kerfoot's not good enough for 3.5 at third line center.
That's not.
6
I'm not
million definitely ain't.
no, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if that's a good contract.
I'll give you that. That one's borderline, but that one
if
that's
he-
like Frolik.
Yeah,
That's like,
I'd rather have for a leak just for the money.
but that's the like. You're not going. I can't believe Nugent Hopkins at 6.
No, like he could be really good.
They could trade him for something. That might be one of those $6 million that you got to get rid
What do
of.
you get for him? That'd be a big thing. 'Cause
Well, I
he's
mean, he
only
did
2
get
years
69
left,
points
right?
last year.
You'd have to think you could have traded Nugent Hopkins
Last
for
year.
Tyson Barrie.
That'd be such a big trade for them.
That would have been
That'd
Right,
be
like,
huge.
that probably would have been clutch, something like that.
Right, like-
Koskinen's stuck.
If Nazem Kadri got Kerfoot and Barrie,
I actually
does Brian Nugent Hopkins not get Kerfoot and Barrie?
I put Kadri and Nuge kind of. They're pretty close.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about money if you're.
But the only thing
Colorado.
is Kadri's less, so he makes it.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter to Colorado.
No, because they got all
Fucking
until
rules
they
and
signed
dudes.
Rantanen.
Yeah, but still, they got so much money, man.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it won't
so
be a huge deal.
Sam Gagner at 3.15
Brutal.
is not good.
Is he there?
Freaking
this year?
Gagner.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
Yeah,
back.
Don't you remember
From
the
Va-
trade when
from
they got him
Vancouver.
Yeah.
back? Yeah,
I didn't realize he was signed this year. Why
Yeah.
did they do that?
I don't know.
They just wanted Gagner back.
That's brutal. I didn't realize that.
Alex
Ugh.
Alex Chason 2.15. I'll
Yeah,
give you
not the
it's
worst.
Up, it's up in the air.
Yeah, that's a gamble.
But it's like a $2.1 million.
That's what they have to do, though. This is like one of those fringe players that could be good, so I'm okay with it.
Zach Cassian 1.95.
Yeah.
Meh. Marcus Granlund at 1.3 is
That's a
steal.
gamble. That's a gamble too, because he's a center so
for
that's huge.
1.3.
For 1.3, that's
That's
not
a-
a,
that's a
that's
good-
fucking
that's good.
free.
Yeah,
contract.
he was a good center.
He was
I
really
don't
good.
know if he still is.
He's only 26 though. That's
Yeah.
the exact gamble you have to
Yeah,
take.
like you.
But
That's
the
all
problem
they can
is-
afford.
The problem is that's a gamble that wasn't really thought of for the long term. If Marcus Granlund turns the season around, he leaves. Because they can't afford him,
Oh yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's
That's
a
the
guy
issue.
taking a bet on himself,
If
right?
exactly, if
Yeah.
you sign him for 2 or 3 years, it's on 1.3 million.
But they got to do this for the next 4 years. So
Jujar Kara 1.2, whatever.
Yeah.
Brodziak, we're getting into the cheap guys. And then you look at the defense, which is where they spend a lot of dough.
So top two are not so great.
Oscar Clefbaum 4.16.
That's
it's not
okay.
a lot of money though. And then Larson, they're basically on the same deal.
So those two are pretty good. Those are good contracts.
Chris Russell at 4, that's a
Not
lot
a
of money.
good contract.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Darnell Nurse at 3.2, not bad.
Yeah, that's okay too.
Problem is he's got arb rights next year.
Yeah.
Brandon Manning 2.25 should be fine.
I don't even know why they got him.
That's I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Matthew Benning 1.9, Joel Person.
Didn't
He's
they
gonna
get
go to the minors.
Petrovic or whatever? They let him go from Florida last year.
yeah, I guess so.
Oh, I didn't mind him actually.
They don't have the money, man.
Yeah.
Right, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 defensemen on NHL contracts.
And not one of them is like a bona fide number one.
No.
Yeah.
Adam Larson should be, but that was
That was a great
fail.
trade. Great trade.
But this is a problem, right? They
you
have
imagine
$4.5
those two?
million, or sorry, $6.5 million
McDavid.
tied in goalies, right?
Oh God, what a bad sign that.
Plus, I heard there was. Yeah, okay, there is performance bonuses for Smith.
Oh.
So
It's
basically,
a 1 year deal, isn't it?
It's a 1 year deal,
Yeah.
$2 million base salary, and then up to 1.75 in bonuses. Cap Friendly doesn't have details on the bonuses at the moment,
But-
so
I think that's a good gamble. He's a really good backup. I
dude,
would
if
say.
he's good, is he worth $4 million on this team?
Who?
So how's that a good contract?
Well, it's assuming he doesn't. He's playing backup.
Yeah, so if he's bad, is he worth 2? No.
I think he's a good backup. That's what I wanted him to stay in Calgary as a backup.
The
for really-
Edmonton Oilers can't afford a $2 million backup.
When they have
They
a
can this year apparently.
Stolarz
3.5 million half starter.
Stolarz signed in Anaheim for $700,000, I think.
He's always been fringe NHL. I almost said NFL.
Yeah, but if you want to talk about a gamble on a player that might
Didn't
do
they
stuff,
have him?
yeah,
Yeah. I don't know.
he signed for 2 years for $750,000.
He's a young guy
season.
too. He's like 25, 26.
If you're a team in cap trouble, you sign a backup goalie for $750,000.
Yeah.
Is Mike
Someone
Smith?
who's got something to prove
Is,
too.
yeah,
right?
is Mike Smith gonna push you in the playoffs or something?
Well, you know what they did though.
Yeah,
They
I
were
think
like,
that
we
was a
don't
mistake.
know this other goalie because we only had him for 3 months before we signed him.
Yeah, but
Let's get a guy that actually.
if you
did
700
trade for a goalie like that, you scouted the hell out of him. In my opinion.
$750,000.
Oh.
You couldn't pocket that.
Hey, it's Calvin Pickard.
Could have got
They
Calvin
could have got Calvin Pickard.
Yeah,
How many teams passed up
probably would have been a better deal.
on the star of the century?
trying to
Star of the century. Wow, he's got to outshine Carey Price in the next 3 years of his prime.
no problem.
If
Bennington,
he
who?
actually turns out to be like the goalie he was
This
2
will be
years
the
ago,
funniest
oh, God,
podcast to listen to.
Can you imagine?
If Calvin Pickard
turns into something.
turns into something, you're never gonna stop sending me these clips.
I'll be like, wow, do you remember
Do
this?
you remember this? He's not, Brent.
Fucking saw
He's
this
not.
coming a mile away.
A mile away. I guess while we're on goalies, what did you think of
Oh, yeah. I
Varlamov
was
and the
gonna say.
Leonard situation?
I-
Wait till my
That's
freaking
weird.
poker games get real.
Honestly, I'm really surprised Leonard didn't sign.
It's weird.
Well,
That's such a
hold
weird
on, hold on,
situation
hold on,
to
hold on,
me,
hold
but-
on. You're surprised Leonard didn't sign, or you're surprised the Islanders didn't sign?
Either
him?
one. I don't know if there was.
It
Even
was
an
the
offer.
Islanders.
So that doesn't make sense because he had one hell of a year.
Yeah, the Islanders are. Well, Lou Lamoriello is. a
Unless,
psycho.
I don't want to assume this happened, but obviously Leonard's been known to have those mental lapses. and
Yeah.
maybe that's part of
See,
it.
so I feel like the hockey fan world, if you want to call it that, is doing a very similar thing like you're doing to Corey Perry. Everybody knows about Robin Leonard and Robin Leonard's
His story. Or
story.
Whatever. Yeah.
And people are losing their mind that Robin Leonard didn't get signed for big money and stuff. And why
I
do you
wouldn't
only
say
get 1
big
year and this
money.
and this?
But typically you get rewarded for doing well in the city you do well in.
Generally speaking,
Yeah.
but at the same time, if you're the Islanders and so this is what this is my
Varlamov's
thought.
a better goalie in my opinion. So
I don't know if I agree. I had this exact same conversation this week at work already. I've seen video of Varlamov by himself on the ice. He does not look like an NHL goalie, in my opinion. I'm a goalie. I follow all kinds of Instagram channels on goalie coaching and stuff.
Mhm.
I saw a video of Varlamov sliding around the ice doing butterfly pushes and stuff. And I was like, who is this and why is he on this video? Why is he on this Instagram post? And then I scrolled in the comments and it was Varlamov and I was like, oh my God. I sent it to my friends and I said, who is this? And they all did the same thing. He does not look like an NHL goalie. Yes, it's practice and all this stuff. But when it comes to movement and stuff on the ice, you're an NHL goalie. You have lots of ice time. You have lots of goalie coaching. You should be able to get that right.
I don't know.
If I look like a schmuck out there, which I do, that's one thing. If you're a pro goalie, man, it's weird. I thought he was a better goalie than he has been for the last couple of seasons.
He did.
But then I
get
saw this
outplayed.
random highlight, and I was just like,
He did get outplayed
Maybe
kind
that's
of
why.
out of his crease too this year.
A
so-
couple
Yeah.
seasons in a row.
Yeah,
Well,
so
Bernier
Bernier
for a
did it
little
too.
bit, and then he got rewarded in
that's not something you
Detroit.
want.
But Grubauer was always going to be the guy when they signed
Yeah.
that contract, right?
When
for
they
3
traded
years
him
or
and
4
traded
years,
for
yeah.
him and signed. Yeah.
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 So
Right.
like I honestly like Varlamov or
Varlamov.
Varlamov. No,
Vadamalou.
Varlamov. I like every time I've watched him play, like he's looked good in the last 2 years. It's
I-
just he's been on and off the roster.
He's got injury issues, and it seems like every time he comes back from injury, he has issues.
So like again, I don't know the story with Leonard and
So-
what happened there, but I would have expected him to sign.
So
in New
Robin
York.
Leonard came out and said in a post,
It wasn't because I didn't want to sign, right?
it was he said that
Yeah.
they didn't want me. He said there was stuff on the table. It didn't material like they were. I saw like they were far apart in money, and then by the time
Why did he get
came,
paid like 3.5?
like on July 1st,
Yeah.
$5 million
5? Yeah. So that's
for
probably
a 1 year deal.
they probably said, "Hey, we'll pay you the same." amount.
So this is my issue, is he came out and said they were far apart on money. By the time he came back, they had already signed somebody else.
probably.
People are shitting on the Islanders because it's Robin Leonard and
Well,
the story.
you don't know if this other goalie's going to get signed.
But
right?
my issue is that's probably not the whole story. If he's coming in, this is my thing too. Like you said,
Yeah.
normally you get rewarded for a good season.
Uh-huh.
What if he wanted like $6 million?
Yeah, they can't
For,
take
like,
that
4
gamble
seasons.
after. No,
Yeah.
he only had one good year.
That's what I mean. What
Yeah.
like if that's what he wanted? Because I assume if he signed for 5 for 1 year, I guarantee you
They would have done that. Yeah.
I guarantee you he wanted
Oh,
5
more
or
than
6
5.
for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Probably
So then
maybe even
the
more than
Islanders
that.
probably said, no.
No, yeah.
And then he went looking around, and then they found their option in Varlamov, right? So I don't. To me, it's not as surprising when you look at the $5 million he got from Chicago.
Which I think is surprising too. Because
Where the hell did they find that money?
Well, no, not even that. What's happening to Corey Crawford that we don't know about?
Like, also true.
Right? Is he done? Is the concussions
Yeah.
that bad now? Because he came back last year and he was like.
Didn't he
not-
finish the season?
He did. He didn't play bad.
No,
He wasn't like the Corey Crawford of old, but he still played well.
Because by the sounds of things that I heard, it was they were ready for them both to battle.
But Corey Crawford's still like not old, I wouldn't say, but like obviously he's had those concussion problems.
Crawford's 34, but they have $11 million in the crease
Mhm.
for next year.
Which is crazy.
Both are unrestricted at the end of the year.
Scary.
But it's okay. We just talked about the Oilers not being able to afford 6.5, potentially 8.5 or 8.75.
Brent Seabrook,
8.25.
that's a bad looking contract right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Duncan Keith.
I actually think they could probably move him pretty easy.
Duncan Keith.
Yeah. Because he's under 6, right?
Maybe
Yeah,
retaining a
5.5.
bit.
Yeah, they could move that. A team would take a gamble on that.
I don't know if it's a gamble. I think you just. I think
he's
it's a
like
team.
35 or something.
Yeah, but I think that's a team like Ottawa
Yeah, they
that's
could take
picking
that
up.
easy.
because
That wouldn't be bad either,
It's-
actually.
Duncan Keith's like not great. He's like can't score anymore, but he's still like a
so
puck moving defenseman.
this year he's making in cash 3.5, then it's 2.65, then it's 2.1, then it's 1.5.
Oh, so it gets less and less. eh?
Right, it's just like all of them, right?
Yeah.
It's a back diving contract. It was 13 years long. This was one of the last. Him
Yeah,
and
before
Seabrook
the 8-year.
were one of the last
Yeah.
like long
Yeah.
contracts.
They
right?
won that cup and they were like everybody's signed forever.
Yeah.
Does he retire? Doubtful.
No.
Probably
So
not
like,
yet.
do they trade him to Phoenix, to Carolina, to Ottawa?
Fucking Phoenix, man. They could be that surprise team next year.
But
If
again,
Ranta
Possible.
actually's healthy.
again though, cap costs a lot,
Yeah.
and do the Blackhawks want to pay for that?
I don't know what their plan is.
I don't either.
Because they got rid of one of the best coaches in the AHL, and they basically didn't do anything to their roster that was meaningful.
Which, are you surprised? They don't have the money. Like I don't know where they got $5 million for this.
No, yeah.
And somehow
that's true.
they're still about $1 million under the cap.
They
they
must
have-
have. Did Hossa?
They only have
No.
10 forwards on
Was
contract.
Hossa on their contract, or was it through Phoenix?
Hossa was here.
So that, like he might have came off.
Sorry, Hossa was in Chicago. They traded him to Phoenix
Yeah, that's okay. That's what I thought.
after the fact,
Yeah.
but that's why he's gone. But it like
I was just wondering if maybe his salary was sticking around.
no.
I don't know. No one notable must have made a like. No one would have come off.
Yeah, because so basically it's
Anisimov still there, right?
Kane, Taves, Saad, Anisimov, Andrew Shaw now.
Sod. Oh, what a bad trade that was too.
Yeah.
Twice.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't really know what the point
Why?
of that
Why
is.
would you ever do
Drake
that?
Kajula, Ryan Carpenter, David
Kajula?
Kampf.
From Edmonton?
Yeah, they
Oh.
got him a while ago.
That was the
I don't remember
Manning
that.
shit, right?
Yeah, that was the
Oh
Manning.
God, yeah. What a bad. Like I don't like. Kajula was actually doing stuff.
Yeah. I
Well,
know.
he wasn't even bad.
No,
when they
that's why I was
traded him
so
away. Someone who could
confused.
freaking help them score some goals.
I remember that now. Yeah, I
He
was
was
like,
like-
why
I
did
remember
they do that for
he
the
was like
guy
their
that
third
like
leading scorer.
destroyed
Yeah.
McDavid?
I remember that too, and it upset me just because I'm like, why
He's the only guy like
would you do that?
exceeding expectations.
Yeah, exactly.
But then this is the issue. This is why they're so tight in the cap. Is their D,
Yeah, it's crushing
Seabrook
him.
and Duncan Keith, right? Those are like
11 mil between.
those
the
are
two
like
of
your
them.
4 or
Yeah.
5 defensemen.
At
Duncan
this
Keith
point,
can still play top 4, I think.
That's 4, and then Seabrook's 5.
Yeah, 5 for sure.
And then Calvin DeHaan's
Five
at 4.5. Olimata now at 4.
I forgot they got Olimata.
Me too.
Huh.
That
That's
was-
actually not a bad guy to have.
Because what that was Olimata.
He used to play with Chris
for-
Letang all the time. Pittsburgh.
Yeah, who did Pittsburgh get? I forget.
No idea.
yeah.
Oh, Cahoon. I remember. So I was like,
oh,
who is
yeah.
Cahoon? I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah,
And I
that was
looked
just
it up.
straight up cap dump, right?
Yeah, for sure. They did the same thing with Kessel, basically, but
Yeah.
Galchenyuk's not that much less.
So it's. I don't know why they did that.
Cahoon.
Why did you need Olimata?
Because he's a good defenseman, actually. I think he is.
He's had some underwhelming years in the last couple.
I think him playing with Chris Letang, he's a little bit underrated because he's like a defensive defenseman.
I feel like he got a little bit outshone by some of the other
sure.
younger guys too over there.
Then they got this Connor Murphy kid, 3.85.
He's getting overpaid, but he actually and Gabranson or no, not it's like a Gustav or something like that
In
at Chicago defenseman.
no
I'm for sure.
Slater Kokek.
No, Gustav. Oh, whoops.
Yeah, Eric.
Gustav.
Oh, Eric Gustafson.
Yeah, he had a really good year last
Oh.
year.
It's like, what?
Gustav.
I was like,
Yeah.
Gustafsson. Yeah, he had a good year last year.
But
yeah,
like,
that
I don't
Murphy
know.
kid's
It's
getting
just,
overpaid.
it still surprises me that there's $11 million for goalies in this roster.
Well,
Like,
think about it. They like don't have anybody notable in their bottom 6, so it's all.
Well, that's
low
the
names.
issue right now. They have 8 defensemen on contract, but obviously 2 of them are under $1 million, so
Yeah.
those can just disappear. And then they only have 10 forwards. So
That's
there's
the thing.
There's
they
two
have no
they're-
depth.
They're 2 minimum contracts away. But at the same time, right, you get rid of the 2 minimum defensemen, and you add 2 minimum forwards, and you have a roster at least.
Yeah.
And
No,
they're
like-
still under the cap.
Like legit, Kane's been so good forever. Taves actually had like a decent year last year.
It's kind of crazy
He had
that
a
there's
bit
only
of
4 years left on
resurgence.
those deals.
Yeah, like 10 million each, right?
10.5.
Yeah, fuck. Think about how much that would be nowadays. That'd be like 13, 14. It'd be
I can do
crazy.
the math for you. 15.22% of the cap.
Which is crazy. What, 82 this year? Is that right?
81.5
Yeah. That's nuts. That's McDavid money.
times. Oops, I'm retarded.
All the maths coming into
Uh,
play.
that's 12.4.
Yeah, it's McDavid money. That's crazy.
It's a bit nuts.
But they won. So, like,
But-
that's the shift in mentality.
Not
from
only did they
nowadays.
win,
3
they won
times.
thrice.
Yeah, twice in a row. Good
No,
years.
they didn't do 2 in a row.
Didn't they?
No, it was just Pittsburgh.
And LA?
Oh yeah, they went 3 and 5 or whatever.
Did
right?
Pittsburgh split up LA and Chicago? Because I thought 2 teams won twice in that like
LA
5
didn't
year
win
span.
back to back either.
No.
Pittsburgh was the first back to back in a long
Maybe
time.
it was Columbus. Or not Columbus, Chicago, LA, Chicago.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
that's
what
what
it
it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Again, it's Chicago. I don't know where they got the money.
I like
That's
honestly like I can like now that I say it, there's some teams that still have a lot of skill, but it might just be names that I'm carrying over from all the years.
You got some serious.
I remember when I was young.
Yeah,
But Jerome McGinley.
yeah. Somebody should
Fuck,
sign him
still
for a
good
how
minute.
did we
enough,
not?
So like,
that
how
last
stoked are
year?
you the Leafs signed Spezza?
I like Spezza.
I do too, but like,
I'm not stoked.
what do
about it.
you think he's gonna do?
He's just gonna be like a 2-way guy that they don't have because they got rid of Kadri. He replaces Kadri. That's what he does.
But they had him before, which is probably had this plan.
Well, they must have had the talk before they traded Kadri. Yeah, they were like, "Okay, we're getting rid of Kadri, replacing him with $3.5 million less.
Yeah.
That works.
Sort of. But the
Yeah.
thing is, you get Kerfoot, right? So it's.
I think Kerfoot's going to go to the wing.
I don't think so.
He played left wing every now and then on Avalanche.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Because Spezza was a really good faceoff guy. I don't know if he still is.
Oh, Spets is going to be the killer guy. Like, he'll be the first out on a kill for
Yeah,
sure.
defensive faceoffs all the time.
Mhm.
He's like, that's what Kadri was.
But the thing is,
doing.
Kerfoot's that too, right? Like, Kerfoot is the two-way guy too.
I know him not as a centerman. I know him just like when I watched him play, and I thought it was on the wing. Because he played with Landeskog and Carl Soderberg every now and then, I think. That's what I'm remembering.
I
From
think,
like
yeah,
a year
I
and a
think that
half
was
ago.
a line for a while back.
And
yeah.
then the three monsters got put together.
Yeah.
That line just took over. And then I didn't really watch Kerfoot all that much.
Yeah, he's center left wing on
Yeah.
here, but on his hockey DB page, it just says center.
And like realistically, he could jump up and play with one of those top two lines pretty easy.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like he could play with the young line, Matthews and Nylander,
Yeah, we'll see.
because that spot's open now.
Yeah,
That makes a lot of sense, actually. I never thought about that.
maybe. Plus, so this is the other thing with the Leafs too is Hyman's off till
Yeah.
probably December.
Right.
Dermott's out for at least the first month, so it's just like those
They'll-
are some big
they'll-
holes.
Scary.
They'll do the classic shuffle lines.
Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure.
It'll be a mixed match.
Let's see what else are we missing here, ladies.
I think we talked about the big teams. Well, we didn't really talk a lot about New
we
Jersey.
forgot one big trade.
Which
Or
one?
did we talk about it last week? Phil.
I think it happened after.
Kessel?
Or did it?
The Thrill?
The Phil
think
the
it
Thrill
happened
going
after,
to
right?
Arizona. Did you guys
Galchenyuk, yeah.
see the best Photoshop ever
No.
of Phil Kessel in a fucking Phoenix jersey?
Oh my god, I did.
Is
His
it the
head's
old
like
one?
this big, man. What the hell?
Hold on,
Who's
let me
doing your
see.
photoshops? Like,
I bet you Pittsburgh, like, I think Pittsburgh really liked him. It wasn't like Toronto.
No, I don't think so.
that's not what I.
That's
yeah,
not
what I
I
heard
don't
at all.
know. You, like all this shit with
They pushed Phil
Rutherford and
Kessel out.
stuff.
Like,
Yeah.
Really?
It's
Phil
like you're
said-
not gonna
He's
be
been in
a-
trade rumors for the last 3 years.
Phil
but, like,
said that Jim Rutherford came up to him and said, "You're never going to play for the Penguins again
after they lost.
after the season or whatever."
Wow.
At some point.
At some point, yeah, after the season.
Why?
yeah.
He did so well there
But
on the score
it was
sheet.
an issue. Yeah, it wasn't. It was the other.
Like motivation and work ethic and all that shit.
Yeah.
He's like yeah.
He's been so
Kessel's,
consistent. He's been like the best power play point guy the last 3 years in a row almost.
He's a character though. He's like an attitude.
He doesn't look
Right.
like an athlete.
Well, like I think there's a
Right?
lot about Phil that's abstract.
I feel like if someone saw him on the
comparison.
street, they'd be like, nah.
All right.
Especially-
It's like remember back.
Not that
like,
it's
I
a
don't
peak.
know.
If anything, that's like good for him.
They
The
made
funny-
that meme back in the day.
The thing I find funny about it is that Phil Kessel said no to Minnesota,
Actually,
Yeah.
why? They're such a good team. Nah.
but then said yes to Arizona.
yeah.
I think so.
I think
I was just
Arizona has
saying, Arizona
opportunity,
has
though.
all these young guys and like people that haven't panned out yet, and I think they could. And
think there's lots of
obviously, they haven't had
opportunity
like the last 2 years. They haven't had a year where like their goalies are actually healthy. If Ranta is actually healthy next year, who knows?
Maybe.
OEL, that other really good young kid. Oh, what's his name? It's like Yoel Levy.
You Levy?
oh
yeah.
yeah.
Like between those two and a couple other like kind
I
of
can't
key
find his
picks,
picture.
do you not just do Phil Kessel, Arizona?
I did that. It
the
didn't work.
Googles.
Didn't work.
They probably took it down and like deleted it from the internet because they're like, wow, we did screw this up.
I'm not gonna lie. Next time I go down to Arizona, like Phoenix, I'm gonna try to find one of those gross jerseys,
Like
the
the
mosaic, whatever you
Oh,
want to call
yeah.
it. Looks.
classy.
I don't know why that and the Fisherman. I want to have it.
The Pisherman.
Those are the two
Just
worst
'cause they're
jerseys
just, like,
in
iconically
NHL
bad.
history. The only bad jersey I don't want to have is the flaming horse that Calgary had. That was
God, that's so
was
good.
awful.
I
That was-
really like that jersey.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
It looks so bad.
I'm not just saying
was
I really liked it a
interesting.
lot.
Well, as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Why would
At
you
the time,
ruin
I
us?
did not like it.
I'd still hate it. I think
I
it
look
looks
back
worse.
on it fondly.
Doesn't look
just
like
be
a horse.
Yeah.
Looks like some
Looks
weird.
like a dragon.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's not a horse.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
No.
It's like a horse that you would see in like
Your nightmares.
flaming
horse. What the hell is that movie with Nick Cage?
Yeah, fucking
Which one?
the motorcycle one.
Oh, Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Yeah, that if he rode a horse, that's what it would look like.
There is a horse
Actually, in
one
the
of the
second
movies,
one,
yeah.
I think. Yeah,
I don't remember it because it was so bad.
exactly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's completely dead though. Yeah.
Nick Cage. God, what a bad actor he is now. Those hair plugs. Whatever he's got on his head. But yeah, I for Arizona, I think that's a win.
I agree.
Galchenyuk, you don't really know. I don't think anyone's ever known what he is.
I know, right?
And
He's one of those.
he has a pretty long term. I think it's like 4 or 5 more years.
He's one of those players that like
No,
can be
Galchenyuk.
good. He can be good, but he doesn't
He had-
play up to his potential.
He had
all the
like
time.
one. He didn't play the full season, but he had one season with Montreal where you watched him and you're like, wow, he's gonna be their next star.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what happened.
It was the start of that season 2 years ago when they were in
Yeah.
first, and he was just like
Yeah,
lighting it up.
When PK went over there,
Yeah.
like there was like all this hype, like, oh shit, we actually have like a good line and like defense that's not broken.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what he is, but I think he could be a really good second line center.
I think
guess
he
he's-
should be, right?
He's just under 5 a year, which is
I
like
think so,
not
yeah.
awful. Yeah, I don't know what, other than just the personnel thing. I don't know what Pittsburgh was thinking there.
I don't know.
Because they
Yeah.
had they got that that monster guy last year from Florida. What's his name? Bugstad or however you say it.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like 6'7" or whatever
Yeah.
he is. Like I thought that's what. And when they made that trade, I was like, oh, they must have opened up space for him to move up. And I was like, nope, center. I don't know what they're doing in Pittsburgh. Just cap stuff, I guess.
Cap stuff. Galchenyuk's only got 1 year left.
But now they have like no D.
Chris Letang, Justin Schultz, Brian Dumoulin, Erica Branson, Jack Johnson.
Johnson's such a bad sign.
And then what the hell's the kid?
I know. I was trying to
Ricola
remember his name earlier. Is that what it is?
or Dumoulin? No, is Dumoulin there?
Yeah, he already said Dumoulin.
Did you? I remember they had a kid named Ricola, or somebody did. I thought it was hilarious. Ricola, yeah, because I actually did that. I think that in the was that Pittsburgh? I think it might have been. It was a defenseman. I remember that.
What the hell am I thinking of? Because they just drafted Pierre Olivier Joseph.
Pedersen.
No.
I think I nailed it. I think I nailed it.
Mm-mm.
Yep.
Maybe.
Nailed it. Yeah, I knew it.
I think you're right, but
Nailed
it's
it.
not here.
I'm not even looking. You guys
Yeah,
with your
well, you-
screens.
So they're non-roster defense. There's only 5 of them. Pierre Olivier Joseph.
Are you talking like a prospect?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Nicholas Olmari, Colin Addison, Kevin Zuxman,
Kevin Durant plays hockey.
David Warsofsky. I don't know. I can't remember who I'm thinking of here, but
It's probably
doesn't matter.
Pedersen.
They have a lot. I don't know. They should be fine.
Schultz is like damaged goods. Same
Marcus
with Letang.
Pedersen. That might be the guy.
Marcus
Yeah,
Pedersen.
Yeah. See,
Fucking
Knew it.
look at the last guy.
Fucking knew it.
Fuck.
Saw him a mile away.
But yeah, you saw Ricola.
Is he there?
Yeah.
Oh, look at me,
What
2 for 2.
Fuck. I'm just gonna leave.
That's the only reason I remember him because I watched the game and I was like, "Who is this kid?"
Ricola.
Yeah, that's the best thing ever.
I love
'Cause it's
good
like
names
the cough
like that.
drops.
One thing that's
Yeah.
an issue for Pittsburgh is Murray is up at the end of the year. Next year.
Do you think he's gonna get paid a ton more though? I don't know if he will. He hasn't really proven it.
I agree, but he also has 2 cups.
And he also is a starter.
Yeah, well, for sure.
So,
For
Will
sure.
they have Jerry?
yeah, Tristan
He
Jarry.
actually
I
did
don't-
well
do they
last
still
year.
Jarry?
And DeSmith.
Yeah.
Those
Are you
two.
sure?
So.
Those two. I
Yeah,
think,
he
are
was
still there.
actually underneath DeSmith.
Oh, yeah, there
last
he is,
year. Because
yeah.
DeSmith
So
actually
those-
played really good.
Yeah,
early
those
on.
two have been like they've shown promise. So like to be honest,
They got a little
I think they're doing
pipeline.
okay.
Yeah.
I think they're okay too.
Yeah.
Speaking of, one thing that we forgot that I wanted to touch on. Why does Tampa Bay
Oh,
have to get Curtis McElhaney?
that didn't make sense. But that's a good signing.
It is a good signing,
Didn't
but why? Why does it have to be them?
So just so someone else can't. I don't know.
It's like,
they got him for a good deal too?
yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Did you know that is the richest contract of his career?
Actually, After this year, I thought he would have got more, like at least 2.
That is but he went to Tampa Bay, so he was like, "Fuck this, I'm gonna win."
I want a cup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind you, like they're one of those teams that are gonna get worse, even though that's like not saying
I don't know
their
if they're
team's
gonna-
awesome.
They're
Well,
not.
they're gonna get
better.
worse than last year.
That's what I mean.
Because I don't think you can get better.
Well, they lost Strawman. That's a pretty big hit.
This Jamie McLennan said this on Overdrive on July 1st. It's Louis Domingue, and he's not necessarily the greatest. Louis Domingue won 12 straight games for them last year.
I think we had this conversation.
Yeah.
He's not a stud, but he did it. He did
Yeah.
well.
Right.
Right? Like,
He got wins. That's all.
Isn't it-
That's all that matters.
why? Why did Tampa Bay have to address that need?
Because
But
it was
they did.
cheap.
They ended up getting the best backup goalie in the market.
He's 37, so that could be
He
an
is,
issue.
like,
Yeah.
again, this is recency
I think
bias,
it's 37.
but he's been really good as a backup goalie. Like,
oh, dude,
he has been
the last 3 years,
He's been
Columbus,
the-
Toronto, Carolina.
he's been
stud.
the best backup you can be.
If-
Without being like the 1B,
fantasy pick right there.
Especially for
If
the
your goalie
price.
gets hurt and Curtis McElhinney is a backup, pick up Curtis McElhinney.
right? Like
100%.
He can go off for a couple weeks.
Legit.
Yeah, right? So it's
like
just
awesome.
it's crazy that a team that had a goalie go 12 straight
They
while their goalie had a broken foot, and they go and
Wasn't good
upgrade
enough.
at that. Yeah, it's so Tampa to be like, let's fix that. What? That wasn't even a problem.
Maybe just ease and get it out of mind. I don't know.
This wasn't even a Yzerman.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Pissing me off.
Yeah, that's a great sign.
It is.
If we didn't go for him for Calgary, I'd have been a little disappointed
Yeah, like I wonder what they offered him.
because every team must have talked to him, or
Yeah,
at least most of the teams
you'd-
that need a goalie would
You'd
have
think
talked to him.
like you'd think Edmonton talked to him. You think Calgary talked to him. You think pretty much any goalie. That
well,
was
you know,
wanted-
Edmonton didn't talk to him.
That's true. He's out of their price range.
He
1.3
didn't
million. We don't
talk
buy-
to
we don't get
Edmonton.
players like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have loved if Calgary got him over Talbot. To be honest,
Oh, I didn't notice Laserbeam signed with Buffalo.
who?
Really?
Lazar.
Oh yeah, 700
Yep.
There
1
you
year.
go.
That's-
boy.
I liked him, but we don't have room for him on the team. So
Well,
it makes
he's just
sense.
he's not even he wasn't cracking our line.
Well, he was a right wing, right? So we have too many right wings. So it made sense that he left. But I did like him when he played for Calgary. And it seemed like he actually had a pretty good stint in the HL.
Oh yeah, we haven't touched on this one either. Duchesne.
Oh yeah.
Everyone saw this happening as soon
Sure.
as PK got traded. We're
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
I wonder who they're going for. That was just what's the number going to be? And I think that's actually a pretty good number.
I don't think it's terrible. It's gonna hurt though.
In 5 years.
Yeah,
hurt.
it could
Between
hurt
him
at
and
the end.
Johansson,
I think
that's a lot of
Panarin's
money.
gonna hurt too.
Oh, I don't.
Panarin, Bobrovsky, and
Bobrovsky will hurt the worst.
Bobrovsky and Duchesne are going to hurt.
Yeah.
Panarin's,
how much, I
Panarin's
guess.
not going to be worth 11 and a half. We'll call it.
I don't know, man. He's
In
so
5
good.
years.
He's so good.
In
Yeah, but
5
he's-
years,
He's old.
yeah.
He's like what, 26, 27?
Yeah.
I
guess
still
we'll
think he'll be
see.
good when
It's-
he's like 31, 32.
It's possible. that
Yeah,
he
but
won't
11
play.
and a half million good?
It's in comparison, right? So in 5 years, what's everyone else making?
That's
He'll
true.
probably be okay.
In 5 years, 11 and a half is
It's
probably
not
going
going to be that bad.
Like
I think
9.
that's a great. I think he could have got more.
Well, that was the rumor that the Islanders were offering 12 and a half.
And he was like, I don't like your shitty stadium.
Yeah, do you guys are
Which-
we gonna
which
have the
one?
same building
Yeah.
for one season?
No.
Little
Oh.
C's? Are we going to Little C's?
Yeah.
It's legit, man. I think that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Plus, he's the top free agent. He's going to.
Oh,
make bank.
yeah. Oh, for sure he's going to get
I think-
overpaid.
He for on any team.
Did you see
any
his
team?
deal?
He's top line. What deal?
Did you see the deal?
What deal?
Fucking Panarin's? It's literally $1 million in salary every
Yeah,
year.
it's the Brent Burns deal basically.
It's $1 million in salary and then just bonuses.
That's
It's like-
honestly for top end free agents.
Oh, it should be.
That's
the
what
way.
happens.
Yeah.
Look, Tavares. Fuck.
But I don't even think Tavares is like that. Tavares
It's-
gets a lot of salary money.
It's a lot.
But it just, I laughed at Panarin.
the first 2 years he got like, was it like 20 million
Oh, yeah, but
without having to play.
so
a
did
game.
Aho.
Yeah, well, that's the name of the game now. Deep pockets owners. That's what they do.
I'm trying to find it quickly, but. Oh, Calvin Pickard. Whopping $750.
What a
What a
steal!
steal.
At least somebody took a gamble.
Man, there was so many deals on Monday.
Nathan
like,
Beaulieu. Didn't he go?
Oh, I didn't even notice that Brian Elliott went back to Philly.
Yeah,
You didn't notice that?
No.
signed for a 1 year.
Oh
deal.
wait, yeah.
Yeah, he'll be
Oh,
back.
no,
obviously.
that was a couple days earlier.
Hart.
Sorry.
Hart's the
I-
starter.
There we go. I'm giving up. on
Carter
this.
Hurt.
Actually, what happens to Neuwirth? Is he still there?
I think he's
I just
still
thought
there.
about that. So now they have 3 goalies. What are you gonna do? That didn't make sense.
Or
They'll figure it out.
Well, they'll trade one of them probably.
yeah, I think he's still there.
So yeah, Panarin's just like it's $13 million bonus, $12 million bonus, $12 million bonus, $11.5 million bonus, $10 million bonus, $9 million bonus, $7 million bonus.
Legit,
That's
man.
funny.
Like I still think he's like ridiculously good. Even in 5 years, he'll be good. The way he plays, it's not like, hey, my body breaks down over the years, right? So that's another thing. Like he's a skill player. He gets protected by his team, not the other way around.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I'm not saying it's a bad contract. I'm just saying like
It's a lot of money.
near
Yeah.
the end it's gonna hurt. Like we talked about this. Was
He's
it
getting
last week or the
Matthews
week
money,
before?
and he's not Matthews. So
Fucking English brain work.
Wait,
Alex
easy
Ovechkin.
wins. Yeah,
His contract was ridiculous when they
at the
signed it.
time, yeah, him and Crosby, right?
And it has been worth it. And this isn't even like
Dude.
revisionist history. It's been worth it the whole time.
He is the best goal scorer of our time.
Score goaler.
He scores the goals. Top
Right?
left.
It's every time.
How do they not know it's coming?
Right? But it's just absolutely insane to think that a deal like that can be worth it still. And that
When
could
he's
happen
35,
for Panarin.
yeah.
That could happen for Panarin too.
Ovechkin's a freak.
Ovechkin's a freak. That's what my thought is, right? Like
He
Is
hits and does all the things.
Do you think Panarin's a freak? I don't. Like I
He's a freak.
I don't envision that.
I like. I'm gonna use that now. This guy's a freak.
I don't envision
Look at
7
him.
years of Panarin is gonna be magic.
I even if the last 2 years are bad, that's a great sign.
Yeah, I'm
Because
not.
it's like I said in the beginning, New York could make playoffs now because of that.
Yeah, I'm not shitting on the Rangers for this.
They'll make their money back in a year if they make the playoffs.
We shit on the
Edmonton.
Flyers
yeah.
for Kevin Hayes,
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
right?
Third line guy.
I'm not shitting on the Rangers at all, but there's going to be a time, the last year or the last 2,
they're gonna be.
that's
fucked.
gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Bobrovsky's the same way. For the next 4 or 5 years, that's gonna be great.
Florida needs to win in the next 2 years.
2, you think?
They got some.
Why only
I
2?
think Huberdeau's up in 3 and Barkov's up in 4.
Breaking down the big guns and
Yeah.
talking about the Florida Panthers.
Honestly, man, they are one of the big guns next year. If on paper,
On
just on paper,
Huberdeau's got 4 years.
Yeah.
Barkov's got 3.
nailed it.
Hoffman's only got 1.
But that was just a ridiculous deal.
Stopgap.
Yeah, Trocheck would be a big one too.
Dadonov only has 1.
Yeah, he's a big contract too. It's like over 5, right?
No, it's 4.
Is it? What about Trocheck? He's their next
Trocheck's-
big guy.
No, he's got 3 left.
No, but I mean, like he'll get a big raise.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's top 3 on their team.
The problem is their defense.
I like Yandel. Ekblad's question mark.
Do you, like... I don't know if you do like Yandel.
I just told you I did.
Is he worth 6.35
No, but on that team he is.
for 4 years?
He's got 4 more years. He's pretty old too.
I'm coming into the window with you here
Yeah.
because next year that's gonna look bad.
Yeah, like they have 3 years of prime contracts, and then it's going to start hitting hard.
Yeah, I'll
Right.
give you that. I
And
think
Bob
think
eats
Bobrovsky-
up everything.
Bobrovsky's gonna be worth that for.
What did they do
4.
with Reimer? I can't remember. They traded
They
him,
traded
but like,
him to.
but
Carolina.
did they retain
Oh,
any of the
yeah,
salary?
no, they got Scott Darling and then bought him out.
Okay, good. Okay, so they didn't retain anything, so that's okay.
So they didn't retain anything, but they also
Had to
bought up
pay.
Darling's money. So it's like
What a good deal for
one
Darling.
1.233 this year, 2.33, 1.1833.
Wonder if he even cracks NHL.
Darling?
Yeah, probably not. Eh? From
That's
a
gonna
$4
be-
million goalie 2 years ago to not playing, crazy.
That was the stupidest.
I liked the idea of signing him for $4 million for 4 years or 5 years, whatever it was. That was way too much.
6.
Was it 6 years? My God, I thought it was only 4 years or 5. But
only 4.
I was a big fan
It was
because he
4.15.
did wonders in Chicago that one year.
But he did it as a backup.
Well, he was the starter essentially, right? Because Corey Crawford was out with
Eh.
concussions. But like he did well, and
Until
that
you're-
team wasn't great.
Until you're legitimately the starter, you're not a starter.
It's until you do something in the playoffs, you're not a starter. Let's
too.
get real.
But
Like
crazy, man. Like
St. Louis goalie, wonder how much he's gonna make. Fuck, he's gonna
Bennington?
get bank. Yeah.
I don't know. That's a
Why wouldn't you sign that kid? He's 26.
it's not about it's not they're gonna sign him.
He'll get 6+ easy.
Yeah, but man, that takes some friggin' stones.
It's St. Louis.
I think
they
Term
won.
would be the toughest.
That's what I'm like. It takes
That
stones.
guy's a hero for the rest of his life.
Yeah,
Him and
but
Petro, because he's the captain, are like forever. And obviously Ryan O'Reilly, they're gonna be eat for free for the rest of their life.
yeah, but as a team, I think you give him a 2-year show me.
Oh, dude, I would make the gamble. He played so good.
Yeah, but if you're gonna gamble, I don't know if Binnington, the numbers got to be right to go for a long-term deal.
If you got him under 6 for anything over 5 years, that's a steal. I think.
I think I would. Well, I would do that.
He,
For-
in
if
my
I had-
opinion,
If
he
I'm
didn't-
him, I do that. I don't
he
think
didn't
the
get
team
enough
does that.
talk about Rookie of the Year.
What do you mean he didn't get enough talk? He finished second in voting.
I think he was right there.
He was right there.
Yeah,
No,
he
I know,
finished
but-
second in voting.
But it was like everyone knew who he was going to win.
Yeah, 'cause we talked about this. Panarin had a unreal season.
Pedersen.
There's fucking P
Yeah, he
words.
just signed with New York.
Wow, that was a pretty good rookie year.
No, I know. He
Pedersen.
played, 70 games, 60 games?
Just under 70, I think.
And Billington played 30?
Bennington played.
Bennington, yeah.
41 or something.
It wasn't even half a season. I know it wasn't.
I was like,
Because
No.
he only
Was it
lost
31?
5 games.
31 or something.
Yeah,
33.
it was nuts.
He had
like,
28 wins or something.
If he even got close to that for the
Bennington
whole
played
year.
32 games
Yeah.
and lost 5.
Ridiculous.
One overtime loss.
Ridiculous numbers.
That is ridiculous. But this is why you
I know.
can't
It's a
can't win the
snapshot.
rookie of the year in 32 games.
Did Connor McDavid win his first year?
No.
Okay. I
Panarin
was going
did.
to say. Oh, yeah. Hey.
I got that one right.
Yeah. You just saw it
Yes.
coming. But, like,
I was just-
legit, if he even, like,
If Panarin doesn't
but, like,
fuck, Pedersen doesn't have
nailed it.
if Pedersen doesn't have the year he had,
Is it Marcus?
Binnington wins.
But, like, legit, think of the Koskinen deal versus what you could do with this kid. It's the same amount of, like, months.
Yeah, but that's,
They're not
That's
Edmonton,
like
though.
comparing.
No.
That's like comparing the Kadri deal, like Kadri's contract, to Kevin Hayes' contract.
Hayes, what steal? Guy's going to get paid $1 million per goal.
yeah.
That's the new James Neal. of
Heard
the
it here
NHL.
first. I see. The thing is, I don't think goalies have caught up to the
What, like the elite status for contracts?
hey, pay me what I'm owed.
Well, fucking Carey Price started that, and then now.
Yeah, but Carey
Bobby-
Price was here for a while. Carey Price signed that deal when he was like
Yeah.
25.
Yeah, which is crazy. That's why I would take the risk on a younger goalie.
Yeah, but if you're gonna take the risk, you're gonna take the risk at $4 million.
I don't know. This kid's good.
Freddie Anderson's a $5 million goalie.
What a steal!
Yeah, that's the thing with goalies.
They took the risk.
goalies.
He was
Yeah,
a
that's true.
backup.
Goalies
slash
are risk
almost starter.
reward so much. Look at Matt Murray.
But okay,
He won them 2 Stanley Cups, and he's a risk.
think about this though. If you're gonna have a bad contract and a good contract, I'd rather have it with the goalies, because if you have a bad goalie, your team sucks. Sucks.
But if you have a decent
Oilers.
goalie with a massive contract, that's also
I'd rather take the
equally
risk
as
on a
bad or
goalie than
worse.
a third line guy. That's my point.
Oh,
you're not gonna
yeah,
pay a
but
third
you're
line
not.
guy fucking 6
Just
mil, though.
don't sign the third line guy and roll
Yeah,
the
but
dice.
see, this is my point. This is what you're saying is not what you're meaning.
That's a tough one. That's deep.
You're not giving you're not giving a third line forward $6 million after 32 games.
No, you're giving him $3 million.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Don't sign that guy.
This
Just throw $3 million at this guy plus whatever you want. Let's see.
Binnington, if you sign, like
$6
in
million.
my opinion, like I'd say a 4-year term is long. Like, he should get a Darling deal.
That would be a steal.
4 years, and
Four
he's
by
actually.
That would be a steal.
What is he? Because he's been
26.
older.
He's 26.
Yeah. So that's something you have to
he was
keep
the
in mind
backup.
too.
He actually, I think, played in Nashville before. No,
Who?
that's not right.
Whittington?
Yeah.
No, he's never played.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think that was
I
his
thought
first.
I thought he
taste.
played in another team before.
Oh, he played one game for St. Louis in
Oh,
15-16.
right.
St. Louis, okay.
He
Yeah.
had 13 minutes of game time and 1 goal against and a 750 save percentage because
Shit to
he
be
stopped 3 shots in 13 minutes.
Ooch. But yeah, I would take the gamble on a kid like that.
Yeah, but you're already like, dude. Even if you sign 6 years by $3 million is a gamble.
That'd be a no-brainer.
6 years.
That's what I'm saying. That
That's
a
yeah.
goalie for like a $3 million, like a 6-year deal on period on a goalie is a gamble. Period. Doesn't you want to add a super high risk factor with 32 games of NHL experience?
Fucking right, I do.
You're not a very
Roll
good
the
GM.
dice. Hey, give me the job. I'll make it happen.
Give me the job.
Give me the job.
Like this is my argument completely, 100%. Matt Murray has 2 Stanley Cups under his belt, and you think he barely deserves a raise over
Yeah.
3.75?
Because he gets hurt and he doesn't play well at times.
You don't know that about Binnington.
But I know he plays good.
Yeah, Matt Murray did too.
Yeah, he made bank.
Not really.
He got $6 mil.
3. No, what?
Yeah,
Say that again.
$6 mil.
Total.
Yeah,
That's not bank.
bank.
You want this guy to sign 6 a year for 6 years.
Yeah,
That's bank.
I want it to happen.
You're insane.
I'd take the risk.
You're such
I'll
a.
take it too. Just so St. Louis can fuck off.
Yeah.
I
Well,
just.
they got Allen actually still, so they probably do a bridge deal.
Allen's junk though.
Well, yeah,
I
that
just.
guy's been so up and down.
I would put a very large chunk of change on either
$4 million, 2 years.
He's either under
10 million,
4 million.
1 year.
10 million 1 year.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. Who knows if maybe even a
Edmonton-
1-year contract is out of the
Edmonton.
question.
That's what I would.
That's an Edmonton
that's
deal?
what Edmonton would like.
Give him 5
$10
mil
million
for, a
for
year.
1 year. Man, we got Koskinen for how much? Wow,
What a steal.
We crushed it.
Yeah.
Like give him 5 mil for a year.
Yeah.
See what he does.
Honestly, like goalies are so hard to judge. I totally get it.
That's exactly why.
Because like
Leonard got 5.
we were just talking about like Talbot, like Vezina to like not even a starter in 2-3 years.
That's why I'm saying like you
Yeah.
just gotta chill. He won a cup. He played great. That's fine.
He
I get
actually
it.
like so. I wouldn't say he's Carey Price calm in the net, but he's very calm in the net.
He is.
I think that's a very good telltale of a good goalie. If he's not like fucking scrambling and making those highlight reel saves, if he's just making the calm saves every time.
Emotions in check and everything.
Well, actually, he was like in the playoffs. I don't know if you saw it. He was like going up to the other bench and like beaking him when he
Oh,
was
yeah.
like walking off, and I was like, "Oh!"
Especially the
Yeah, later on,
Yeah.
especially.
He doesn't look like a guy that.
yeah,
would do
especially
that.
like the first couple games of the Boston series.
Yeah, he was like in their face and shit. That's pretty good.
I don't know, man. That's probably one of the craziest RFAs. It could go so many ways
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
it's the same thing that Calgary's got to figure out.
with Riddick.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's so different.
he's like the same age. He didn't have like that crazy.
He's
of a
got
year, but
but he's got a lot more NHL experience.
not good experience. He had like 40 really good games.
Yeah, but it's not about how many quality starts.
I think it's a bit
It's
of
about
both.
how many games you play because you get to see the sample size.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we were talking about it.
It's the same as a forward.
We talked about it in the middle of the season. It was like I didn't believe in Riddick at the beginning at all because of what we saw before, and then he made me a believer over like I guess 3 or 4 weeks of like solid play, and who knows if that's going to come back, right? You never know.
All last season, I said I worried about Riddick
Yeah, he made me a believer
the whole time.
about
Binnington in the
I'd say
playoffs too,
December. December, he made me a believer.
right? Imagine Cale Makar just out of the blue because he played like 10 games. Imagine he was up for a contract. You're not just like, oh my God, look at this guy. He's the second coming of Jesus.
yeah,
It could be. Do it.
Obviously, that's
pay his ass.
20 games less than Binnington. Obviously, the thing with Binnington is that 32 games, that doesn't include the playoffs.
No, and he was a stud.
But the thing is,
I'm surprised
again,
he didn't win.
Again,
trophy.
Matt Murray had he's a way different goalie in the playoffs than he is in
Well,
the regular
and he had like a crutch with him half the time. with Fleury.
That probably helped for
Big
sure.
deal.
It's the
Yeah.
pressure, but it's weird because the pressure's not necessarily off because
Yeah, that's true.
you don't want to come out of the net. Like if you let in 4 bad goals and the next guy goes in, that's not good either,
Yeah, that's true.
right? Like I think it helped. I think it gives you the false sense of security maybe, but there's still pressure to perform.
Well, yeah, no one
And
wants to do bad.
I don't think that's his problem.
No, Allen, that's his problem. For sure.
Yes, agree.
That guy's got something wrong in his head.
Anyway, enough of that.
That's enough.
It's been like 2 hours.
Yeah.
We're halfway done, guys.
Stay tuned. After this commercial break, no, I'm just kidding. I have to pee. I think that's enough.
We're wrapping it up.
I'm about ready to
Put a bow on it.
smack Brent because he's crazy and has ridiculous takes and fires me up every time.
That's right.
God damn.
It's provocative.
It's provocative.
Gets the people going.
Thanks for everyone who joined us for our inaugural season.
Yeah.
There will be
Yes.
more to come.
Summertime.
We will definitely join you in the summer, in
Mm-hmm.
August. Hopefully August 1st, but we may postpone
yeah.
that a week. We will
Yeah,
see.
somewhere in there.
Somewhere early
We'll
August
pop in.
and
catch
then
up.
early September. Until then, enjoy your summer. Enjoy your summer vacations. For Canadians, Kawhi Watch is still on.
He better come back.
And see you in October.
Yeah, thank you very much, everybody. Stay tuned.
Goodbye, everybody.